Ooh, gladiator headband. Oh, I just need you material. Okay, well, let's get out of here.
Ooh.
All right, looks like we are up and live, I think. Let's see.
Oh crap! I forgot. Gotta go back to the Rever corridor.
Let's see.
Oh,
All right, looks like everything's good. Stream condition is excellent, I think.
It looks fine on my end.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's bring this back over here.
Let me throw up this so I can see the chat and like the video.
All right. All right. All right, let's see. How's the audio levels? Are all gameplays muted? All gameplay is lowered and muted. All right, we should be good. We should be good. Let's see.
And yes, I am alive and well somehow. Well, not well, but alive.
All right, yeah, we're live. What up, chat? How's everybody doing? What's going on? HPMP, the JRPG podcast, is back. We're a little bit short on people today, but
A little bit.
might be a short.
Nobody's
podcast.
here. You know how when Smash Brothers got announced, everybody's here. We're literally the opposite. Nobody's here.
You know what? There's a long running joke that everyone says. Pretty much, Riku and I can basically just do the whole podcast alone. So like, this is the time to prove it, Riku.
Yeah, it's about time. Yeah. Y'all start pulling stuff out your asses. All right.
This is gonna be the 1 week we don't have anything to say.
All right.
That'd be crazy. The 1 week is time to fucking step to the.
Like, y'all
step to the
always
panel.
talking
Like,
shit. Y'all always going at each other's throats. And it's the 1 week. Y'all ain't got nothing to say.
It's like, hi Riku, hi Q. All right, that's it.
That's it. That's all we got. Time to wrap it up.
Oh,
be wild.
man. All right, chat, what's going on? H Dragon, Night Wolf, KJ, Night Fury, Omar, what up? Oh, looks like I'm doing super chats today. We got a super chat, 199 super chat from Mimo Propaganda. The MVPs is here, though. Let's go. Thank you very much, Mimo. Appreciate that super chat. Thank you very much. Acebreaker, Daddy Walls, what up, guys? What up? Glad to see you guys can make it to the podcast on this Sunday evening. Like I said, this is a very shortened cast panel, but hey, man, this might be a short and sweet podcast. Short and sweet. Let's see. Triple M,
We
what
did
up?
hear that we might possibly get LadyPelvic to come through. Your groovy queen wanted to go and grab something to eat right when Shadow went live, so
Yeah,
y'all gonna have
highly
to
convenient.
give her some time.
Highly convenient. Hey man, I gotta say, it's around 6 o'clock around here, so you know it's dinner time. So I guess so, you know, fine. I guess so. I guess.
Is it though?
Yeah. Listen, man, give her some credit. She be here sometimes, I guess. Ricardo, what up? Yorha, what up? Sebastian, what up? How is everybody doing? All right, yeah, like I said, short and sweet. Let's just make sure everything is golden. Persona 4 Golden, best Persona game probably. I don't know. Might just be Persona 3 Silver. Who knows? Let's
Never. That's not happening.
Yeah, I almost want to make a bet for that one. Q. I almost not Q. Riku. I almost want to bet you on that. Like, let's just say a
Which
year. Persona 3 Silver coming out. Like, let's just say.
Oh, okay.
For example, I'm not saying I'm putting anything in. For example, like 1 year, if it doesn't come out, the bet increases up to 3 years.
That's wild.
Maybe
I
up to
might
2
be
years.
down for that. I might be down for that.
Because I feel like
We're
it
gonna
would
have to talk
definitely come
about
out.
that one.
We got a super chat from Cranberry, $20 super chat. What up, Cranberry? Thank you very much. Riku versus Q Battle Royale. Let's go. Yo, they want the Battle Royale between you two. I'm right between you guys. I'll be the referee. You guys can take it, and I believe that you guys can have some spicy talk. I will let anything go. Doesn't matter. Even if it's not YouTube friendly, you guys can go at it. Game and talk. All right. Let's see.
Whoa.
All right.
If ever there was a week I couldn't battle royale, it'd probably be this one. I've lost my voice.
How you been losing your voice?
Convenient.
You haven't been streaming. Somebody else has been streaming in your place. What's going on there?
I've been
What's his name? R? Is the people have been calling him?
I don't even know why people give him the name R for whatever reason. His name starts with a K, so that I don't understand. But that being said, Blake seems to think it's because he told me it's because R comes after Q, but that's ridiculous.
That's goofy if that's the reasoning they fell on.
Yeah, apparently so. But no, he's been streaming because I've been sick. I've been pretty sick, and I've been busy with some other things as well. And then this whole weekend was just I've been hosting, like, going out with family and hosting like a dinner party last night, which was insane.
Okay, so you out here busy. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, living life and stuff, drinking alcohol. You know what people do.
Don't worry, you'll power through this one, and then you'll get some sleep and some rest. We'll give your voice some rest.
Yeah, some bullshit. I'm going to play some games after this.
All right, guys, let's start with this short intro. Welcome to HPMP, the JRPG podcast, episode 97. Very close to episode 100. Probably going to have to do something really special for that one, so maybe there might be some giveaways there. You might want to pay attention to podcast 100 when it happens, so I'm just saying. We are live on Google Play and all your podcast services. Yeah, we will start off with our intros. Go ahead, Riku.
Riku-san one, the only one. How's everybody doing on this fine Sunday? You know, I'm out here playing that Hajimari no Kiseki. Going in, almost, I'm like, what? I'm gonna check, I will do it right here live on the show. I'm gonna tell you guys
God.
Playtime on this motherfucker.
I'm gonna say 150, at least 150.
I'm saying he's been playing it since birth. Let's go with that.
It's definitely more than 150. I am 190 hours in right now.
I consider
Bloody
myself
hell.
close. Oh, man. And you still on your first playthrough. Now, is that all just playing the game, or did you leave the game on for a little bit and
No. That's one thing that I try to do. I try to make sure that I don't go AFK when I play these games, so that my playtime is accurate in regards to like active playtime. So if I do have dead hours on this, I do have dead hours, but it's probably at max 2.
Oh,
wow.
All right.
So there's only probably 2 out of it, and that's probably accumulating of me like, oh, let me go grab something from downstairs to eat real quick, or let me take a bathroom break and leave the game running. So that's just all of that accumulating up to like that. But like, I can assure you that a nice chunk of that is me doing stuff. But I'm having a blast. I stopped to play Naraka just a little bit. I messed around with that game because it just came out for PlayStation. Gameplay wise, I'm actually a little bit disappointed. I thought it was going to be more, but I like the designs. But outside of that, it's just been Trails, baby, as it should be.
All right. Q, go ahead with your intro.
Q here, husband of dreams. I'm not going to do anything extravagant. I am also playing a game at this particular point in time. I'm playing Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. Quite relaxed version of a game compared to what Riku's playing. But I'm enjoying it. This is part of my childhood. I don't know how many of you guys played on the GameCube, but
which game now?
It's class. Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yes, originally Harvest Moon, but yeah, that's a long story. Anyway, that's what I'm playing. That's what I'm chilling. Other than that, being sick and, as I said, hosting dinner parties. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's about it for me at the moment. Shadow?
All right. Let's go our next. Oh, wait. Bao joined us. Bao, you there?
Hello.
Oh, this bitch ass Bao. Bao, how's about that?
Jeez, man.
I'll take your money.
What did I do?
I'll take your money right now. Oh, Q's never gonna play Reverie.
You're
sure,
not.
why not, Bao? Give me your money then. Let's make a bet right now on the podcast. How about that?
That boy wild.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
How much you willing to bet, Bao? I'm taking Bao's money
shit.
today.
£1,000.
£1,000. Okay, what's the how does it work?
By the end of 2024, you will not have played the Trails games up to Reverie.
Oh, I'm taking that. £1,000. Oh, I'm in.
Crazy.
I'm taking that bet. No.
What?
No.
Jeez.
You've heard it here. By the end.
Wait, how much money did he say?
How much?
He said £1,000.
That was £1,000? Equal
1,000
to?
pounds. It's equivalent to 1,000 US at this point in time because of exchange rate. So.
Bob, you sure about this, Bob?
You know
Yeah.
what's happening? That's my Steam Deck. That's my Steam Deck right there. You know, complete. That's my Steam Deck.
Oh,
A little bit of extra, you know.
Yeah, definitely clip that shit. Man, I don't know if that's enough motivation for this goofy motherfucker right here.
Said
That's enough
what I
motivation.
said.
I'm taking it out. So this is confirmed. I am accepting your bet. £1,000, right?
By
I'm
what?
taking
The
it.
end
You
of-
can't cheat. You can't cheat either. Just play Reverie.
What do you mean
by
cheat?
itself.
What do you mean by cheat?
Set
What
the
do you mean? Like
parameters. Set the
pretend to play?
parameters.
You can't just play Reverie. Yes, you have to play the Trail series up to Reverie.
Oh, no,
Sky all the way to Reverie.
No, here's the thing. Me being me, I would not allow myself to do that because I would see that as wrong because I need to know what happens next. So, I, from tonight, will be reinstalling all of the games onto my machines.
Oh my god.
And I will be not taking on any more review codes for the rest of the year. I will
What?
lie and say that I'm sick or something, and I will take your money. So,
Man.
I will be forwarding my bank details to you quite soon and collecting on that that incredible debt of yours.
Now hold on, Riku. How many hours is that for the entire Trails games up to Reverie now?
It's in regard. I would say just going off of how long to beat. Well, I mean, here's the thing, Roy. When it comes to how long to
regular
beat,
people time.
No, yeah, I'm obviously taking myself out of the equation. I'm just talking about how long to beat because usually they say it's usually around the short Trails games 40 some odd hours, the long Trails games 60 to 70.
Mm-hmm.
So we can average it around like 55 hours each.
Matthew's
So
saying
what, 50?
500 hours, 400 to 500
Yeah,
hours.
55. If you take 55 times, I guess 10, since there's 10 games, since we would say
Lord.
the average. So it's like 550 hours around.
150 hours. All right. You guys heard it here first. This is the
I'm doing
bet
it.
between Bao and Q for Q to play the Trails franchise up to Reverie at his time limit is the end of 2024.
It's perfect timing. And here's the thing, right? Before Blake gets here, if he does get here tonight, I don't know if he's gonna be here tonight. I also want Blake's money too because this nigga thinks
Oh, man.
that I can't do either. He agrees with Bao, so I'll take both their money. Right?
Oh,
So
man.
I'm just
All
saying.
right, we'll see what happens. We got a couple of super chats. We got a super chat from Sebastian Perry. What up, man? To Pen. Hi, Bao. How you doing, Bao?
Hello.
Ace Breaker with $2 super chat. The real JRPG god is here. Bowser Garriga. Oh man, you think he's the real JRPG god? Alright, fair enough. Sebastian Barry again with the $2 super chat. Q, did you ever finish Arise, Riser, or Mary Skelter?
Okay, so of those games, Arise, no. Riser, yes. Mary Skeleton, no. I'm at the end of Mary Skeleton, though. I'm like in the final dungeon, and I only stopped because I had a review to do. I was almost done with that game, so I could go back at any point in time if I want to and finish it. But I just haven't. So I will be doing that at some point or the other. But I don't have any bets with those, like £1,000 bets. So
Nah, man.
I mean, I have no motivation to do those anytime soon.
All right, we got one more super chat from Ace Breaker, $2 super chat. Thanks, Ace Breaker. Say goodbye to that Steam Deck, Q. Oh man,
No, never. I'm taking Bao's money. I have a whole year to do this, and I'm dedicated to it.
That would be wild if he actually fails this shit. He's like,
that'd
I
be
got a
funny.
whole year,
got
1 month
a whole
away, and
year.
he's only like on third chapter or some shit.
No, he has like a year, almost a year and a half, just about a year and a half, because we're a little bit. He got 6 months left of 2023, and he's got all of 2024 up to December 31st. Hey,
I'm quitting trade shows this year. You guys aren't gonna see me at Gamescom, PAX, E3, none of that shit. I'm literally, as far as I'm concerned, any PR contact who has my number or my email address, lose that shit, right?
Oh man. All right, Bao, go ahead with your intro, man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am Bowser Carriga. I'm about to be £1,000 richer, baby. Thank you to everyone coming through tonight. Hope you all had a good weekend. I know I am, and a good 2024.
Oh,
It's already cocked the year.
Bao is fairly confident in this bet, and so is Q. I cannot wait to see the results. I would
Hey,
say Q. you would have to, in order for this to be realistically possible, should probably be done by the end of the year with the Sky series at the very least.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, just to think about it, Bao is so confident that he'd make such a bet and give such a generous amount of time that he literally thinks I'm that much of a slacker when it comes to finishing games.
I mean, we just got a super chat from who was it, Sebastian, saying, "Did you ever finish Ryza and Mary Skelter?" So hey, man, maybe the proof's in the pudding. I don't know.
One of those was finished. The others were, almost finished. Yeah.
Oh man,
how many years did it take Ryza to be finished?
Pardon?
How many years did it take Ryza to be finished?
Ryza? That wasn't many years. That was within 1 year. I haven't played the second or the third Ryza yet, but like to finish that.
I think that's what the super chat meant. Like you should be like 2 and 3. But either way,
the entire series. Well, then I ain't finished that yet.
We got a $2 super chat from Ricardo Belmont. Thanks for the super chat. May the odds be in your favor, Q. Ah man, you got people are pulling for you, Q. Don't disappoint them now.
That's what I'm saying. The fans are out here, They're out in the streets. That's when you see me streaming again, guys. This is what I'll be streaming.
Oh man.
At this point in time, I don't care about all those other games anymore. I don't even care if you guys sit up for the streams at this point. I'm just gonna show up for me. I'm showing up for that £1,000. That's it.
All right, man. You guys know what the bet is. All right. This is Shadow Elite HD. You guys know who I am. We got videos, and now we're streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/Shadow Elite HDX. We will be streaming on a regular basis starting on Monday and Fridays. And we're going to start with the little DLC called, I think it's Futures Connected, or is it Redeemed?
Redeemed.
Lord?
Redeemed. I'm sorry. Futures Redeemed.
Jeez.
We're going to start with Futures Redeemed. And that will be tomorrow at around 7 or 8 p.m. EST. So first order of business, I have an announcement to make. If you couldn't tell.
I'm having a child.
No, my God.
Lord?
Oh, God. All right, guys. Listen, and listen well. Shadow has finally finished Xenoblade Chronicles 3. All right. After all this time, after over a year, I think it's been over a year, finally finished the game. Had a stream last night. Finished the game. I think I finished in the same day. I just after I was done with the stream and I was getting ready to go to sleep, I just popped on the game and I just said, let me see if I can finish this up, and I did. So yeah, Xenoblade 3 is completed. I have my mishaps about the game. I do think it's a good game. But that's all I think it is. I don't think it's great territory. I don't think it's amazing territory. I don't think it's spectacular. I think it's a good game.
I heard you were getting waxed in that final dungeon after I left the stream. What's all that about?
I think I lost like maybe 2 or 3 times to what's his name? I don't know. Zed. Next time I did it, I beat him. Yeah, he was a little bit aggressive because my party wasn't bursting as much as I wanted them to. But I should have had what's his name? See, I don't know. Noah learned a burst technique from somebody else. And I was like, you know what? I ain't got time for that. I'm not doing that. Whatever. I'm just gonna see if I can beat him. And that's crazy. As soon as the stream went off the air, I literally beat him. I was like, wow. I can't
Oh,
believe
how
this.
convenient.
I can't believe this. But yeah, my gripes with the game are still as follow. I think some of you guys already know. I think there's too many party members, too much crap happening on screen at once. Don't care for it. There's barely stuff to really appreciate how battle is going. Most of the time, just sitting there looking at my recharge and looking at what position I'm in, so I can do combos, or I can fusion combo. Or is it time to chain attack? And chain attacks are pretty cool. I thought I was gonna get tired of chain attacks after a while, but I'm like, nah, this is pretty cool. I feel like it makes battle a little bit longer, but offsetting the damage, I guess it's the same. Story and characters. The characters I don't think are that great. Honestly, I like the characters not almost every Xenoblade game except for X. Story was it was cute at the end. This is all connected with Xenoblade 1 and 2, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, Rex really went. Oh wait, I guess I can tell. I guess I can say spoilers. Rex really went for that harem route. Interestingly enough, but overall, I do think the game is good. Now, I'm gonna say this, Riku. Are you hearing this, Riku? Before you put words in my mouth like you usually do. All right,
Whoa.
All right. I'm gonna say this. I enjoyed Star Ocean 6 more than I did Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Gee.
I did not.
Crazy.
I am not saying that Star Ocean 6 is a better game than Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm saying I enjoyed it more than Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Did you hear that, Riku? So don't go around saying, "Oh, I'm defending Star Ocean 6 and think it's the best game ever." No.
Oh, he's defending Star
Oh
Ocean
my God.
6.
Oh
He
my
thinks
God.
it's the best game ever.
Oh
Everybody.
my God. This is what y'all do when y'all get carried away with this shit, and then it becomes the narrative, okay? All right? Still giving its props to Xenoblade 3. But I thoroughly enjoyed Star Ocean a little bit better. I'm not saying Star Ocean is flawless. I'm saying it's without its problems. But I'm saying I enjoyed it more than
I'll say
Xenoblade
this:
3.
with the announcement of Star Ocean 2 remake coming out, it has definitely reinvigorated my compulsion to want to play through Star Oceans.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not saying that the Star Ocean franchise is all this great thing. Shadow likes it, so no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying they
The
definitely
JRPG got it.
I'm definitely
Gotta go
saying
through them.
that
And then I play all of them. They're like, man, this shit's some goofy bullshit.
Listen,
what the fuck
I'm
going
not defending
on,
that.
Shadow?
I'm not. You can say that all you want, and that's fine with me. But I'm not saying they are the most amazing games that you will ever play. That's not what I'm saying. So you understand that, Riku? Okay, cool.
I mean, I guess.
Oh, shut up. Oh my God. All right. Anyway, getting that out the way. Like I said, we will be streaming Futures Redeemed, Connected, Redeemed. We'll be streaming Futures Connected on tomorrow and Friday.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I don't know.
He just corrected himself.
Listen, I can't. I don't remember.
Futures Connected is the DLC for Xenoblade 1 Definitive
Okay,
Edition, right?
redeemed. Okay, redeemed. My
Yeah,
bad.
Connected is 1, Redeemed is 2. I mean, Redeemed is 3, and Torna is 2.
All right. So yeah, we'll be going back to play that game. Anyway, let's move on to our first topic. Bow, did you say you were leaving early, or do you want to just go with Final Fantasy first, so we can talk about that?
Correct.
All right. So let's talk about Final Fantasy and its potential sales. All right.
So, initial sales, we heard, what, 3 million?
3 million, and what was that, like a week?
I think that was a week, yeah.
So
I think.
3 million 1 week on one console. I don't think it's all that bad. Now, that might not be all that bad to us, and then when we compare it to other games, not all that bad, but is that bad to Square Enix? Is the real question.
Knowing Square, yes.
So how much did Square Enix honestly think that this game was going to sell, like, on one platform?
Well, keep in mind, let's go back to at this point, much older example, Tomb Raider. That game sold millions, and it underperformed. I think they came out and said what they expected was like in the tens or 20s of
10 or
millions.
20? How? That's ridiculous.
I don't know. Square is weird, unless it's been like a change in management after these years. But knowing their track record, I don't see this being favored with the higher ups.
So wait a minute. Isn't Final Fantasy the bigger IP than Tomb Raider?
Arguably, yeah.
So how do they expect Tomb Raider to sell 20 million units or something along those lines? I get that probably between probably a new engine, graphics being completely updated, I guess you could say, and the voice acting and whatnot, maybe the advertising they put into the game, I guess. I would think that Final Fantasy 16 had a heavy advertising, enough advertising for people to know what it is. But do we think if this game launched on multiple platforms, Xbox, PC, hell, maybe the Switch, would it have done better? Would that number be at least doubled?
Definitely.
I'd say for sure. This game had two big things against it. One is, of course, the exclusivity on PS5, and also the alienating old fans with what it is. But it's smart they put out that demo because obviously we discussed a ton of people had a change of heart after playing it, who were either on the fence or weren't interested before.
That is true. I definitely was on that camp. What else? Bob, I think the last podcast, I don't think you finished the game. I think you finished the game by now, if anything. What are your final thoughts on the game? And if you had to rank it, where would it be in the Final Fantasy rankings for you?
Here's the interesting thing, and this usually never happens with me. I'm still not sure where I would rank this game because it is so unique from other games in the series. And for the fact that the high points of this game are like 10 out of 10 high points, but there's so many little nagging things and so much downtime that I don't know how I would put like a final score on it. But yeah, I beat the game. I did enjoy it overall. It's really hard to rank this game, like it really is. Like, two of the game boss battles, I've said this in the chat before, broke my top 10 boss battles of all time. Like, they were that good. But there's points in the game where there's like so many fetch quests just bogging down the pacing, running around the base, even getting the side quest. There's no fast travel option, which is really bizarre. There's little things like
yes,
that.
I hate that. Oh my god, I hate that. That's so fucking annoying.
And while it didn't bother me, I do see the complaint people have of not enough RPG systems in this. Like, if you were to tell me that you don't consider this an RPG and just an action game, honestly, I kind of can't really disagree with you. I still loved it, but I would have liked something a bit more. Just little things like that just add up over time.
I definitely agree with you on that last part. Like, I feel like there's got to be some type of challenge run that somebody could run and see that can you beat this game without upgrading any of your equipment, because I feel like you probably can, and I feel like it would be easy because this game really does hold your hand. Like, there was a point, I think I said it last podcast maybe, that they're like, I ran out of potions at high potions, and then I died, and then I'm like, oh, you restocked my potions at high potions. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that. And you started me out in the battle with the boss being at low HP. So it's like, it's not.
See, I never even lost a battle, so I didn't even know about that. But
yeah,
the game is so easy, honestly. Like, as long as you have dodging down, which isn't even that hard. Like, bosses aren't that precise because they telegraph a lot of their crap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as long as you have that down, you're not going to die in this game.
Yeah. Like, I really don't blame them for making it that easy, but it really does. It does hamper some things down to having the RPG elements in there because they kind of don't matter at the end of the day. I haven't finished the game yet myself, but I will say we discussed it in the Discord chat. Those two boss battles, or maybe it was the one boss battle we're talking about, is just absolutely phenomenal. Like, there was at one point where the boss was going to unleash a classic Final Fantasy attack for, the summon that it is, I guess you could say, without spoiling it. And it was just like, I kind of want to see it. So I just let him build up. Like, he was counting down. I just let him build up and said, okay, can I see this attack? And, the attack kills you if you let him go. But, like, it was just, like, my eyes were almost blind by all the particle effects and graphical lighting going off left and right. Like, just truly phenomenal. Holy shit.
And real quick, Blue Grave in the chat brings up a good point. He says, I wish they went full action game and had no RPG elements since they feel so bare bones. And the way he said that makes me realize that, yeah, they tried to find a middle ground of action RPG. Well, just action game and RPG. And what they ended up doing was kind of a mediocre showing for both. Like, if you're someone that likes like Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, this is a lot more simplified than that. But if you want something with heavy RPG elements, this doesn't have that. So what you're left with is something that's kind of a weird amalgamation that's not kind of great of either.
If they went full action game though, then it probably shouldn't have been named Final Fantasy 16 though. Like, as a Final Fantasy game, I think the thing that you expect the most is that it's going to be a JRPG at the very least, even if it's a basic JRPG. But a JRPG at the very least. So maybe Final Fantasy action or some, I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Then it wouldn't have sold even the $3 billion that it got.
It definitely wouldn't have sold.
Yoshi P himself said in an interview that he's discussed with the creator of the original Final Fantasy to drop the numbers, but they just decided not to. So they considered it.
Interesting. I don't think I want them to drop the numbers, even though it would probably be kind of better for sales, because some people would be like, oh, do I have to play the previous Final Fantasies and whatnot? But like that notoriety, that name is what makes this franchise what
name
it
recognition.
is. And, yeah, exactly. Name recognition gives it its powerful sales at this point. And I'm still a little bit confused on why people were so surprised that this went like action route when 15 went action route. Like,
Yeah, people seem to forget about that for some reason.
like
It's been that long. That's why.
Yeah, that's true. 2016 was a while ago, but like, you know, they did this before. Like, are we really
Yeah, still ways
surprised?
away from a decade.
So do we think that Square Enix is going to continue this way, or will they see the backlash and be like, let's go back to turn-based?
I think we're continuing this route and going deeper in next time. Because
I
they
think
gave us an alternative to classic Final Fantasy in the Bravely Default game. So it's like you can't get the best of both worlds. You can't get a AAA classic Final Fantasy from Square now.
I think it's like Bao says, like it's about you do get that JRPG effect from, you know, your games like your Reverie Defaults and all that kind of stuff, and then they have other franchises as well, because I think Square has the amount of JRPG franchises they have under their belt. But I think when you think JRPG, the quintessential game that comes to mind, or that most people at least of our generation would use, would probably be Final Fantasy as the like telltale, like, oh, this is what a JRPG is. And I think it's becoming less and less what you would consider to be a JRPG. And I think a reboot would be fine, because a lot of the franchises are doing that now, where they just like, it's now the first in the series, Mortal Kombat 1, you know. So if they wanted to continue along this route, for me personally, I would say just start over and say 1. That this is the end of Final Fantasy in the JRPG genre, and it's now the first of the action genre, and go from there. Or maybe just have 2 types of Final Fantasy games.
You know, it'll be a big signifier of what they want to do in the future. If and when that supposed FF9 remake comes out, how they handle that. Because I want it to be turn-based, obviously, like keep it like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do the action route like 7 and 16. Because remember when 7 remake was not even out yet, and that game had a lot of controversy around it because it went the action route. Yeah. And you had a bunch of new people saying, oh, I can finally play this now because I always found turn-based boring, so I never gave the game a try.
All right. That's true.
And you also saw that discussion with this, but yeah.
They also need to drop that exclusivity with Sony, and start like just releasing on everything nowadays, because then that will help boost their sales if they want to continue along this route.
I will say they should do that for sales if Square Enix is that worried about it, but I think Square Enix is more like they want to keep their games relevant for at least 2 years. So the first year it comes out on a console, then the next year it comes out on everything else, and then they'll have some sales to add to their numbers, you know, quarterly during their, you know, financial meetings and stuff like that. But yeah, I would love for them to honestly just put this game on freaking PC, because this game, while it does run well, it could run better. But yeah, it kind of sucks for us because like another podcast said it best. We're beta testers at this point. Like honestly, especially with a game like this, when it comes out on PC, they'll come out with a Royal Edition or whatever, and they'll have more graphical options and be better, have more content probably. So yeah, we're beta testers. Super chat from Silver Wolf 26, $20 super chat. Thank you very much, Silver Wolf. I agree with Bao. I enjoyed the game, but as a Devil May Cry game. Also, Trails into Reverie is more of a Final Fantasy game than Final Fantasy 16. Changed my mind. Oh my goodness, this guy, Silver Wolf. Damn.
Wild.
That's
my boy right there. I mean, I haven't played Final Fantasy 16 yet, so I can't say on that. But that's my boy, Silver. So shout out to him.
Oh man, interesting.
Is it just me or does Riku fade out every now and then?
I think it's when he gets loud or steps away.
So you know he's gonna get loud whenever he talks.
Happens to my mic as well. Get loud.
All right. Bob, let me ask you 2 questions. One, when you got the I forgot what it was called, the Berserker ring in 16, did you ever take it off?
Remind me what the Berserker ring is.
It basically, after each precision dodge, it ups your attack, and it has its own little special dodge animation for whatever reason.
I did not even get that.
Okay, all right. So, because I have that accessory equipped, and you see it in the gameplay that I have up on screen. And when I dodge, it does like a special camera animation dodge. And
I was wondering what that was. I was looking.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, why am I gonna take this off? Like, there's no reason to take this off. This is 10 times more fun to dodge attacks with that on. But yeah, that's kind of weird. But also, Bob, like, how concerned were you with like the like comboing in this game, because I've seen people combo in the game. I watch some streams on it, and then what I have from it is that I don't really have to do all this, because it's not really like it's doing damage, but it's not doing that much damage than a you know, a basic combo and like a icon ability. So I'm not too worried about the comboing that much.
In terms of combos, I don't know if you even consider what I had a combo. Essentially, I had my icon set up to where at any game I could instantly break any enemy's bar by like half easily, and then when they're in that stun state, go limit break, and then like stack 4 different icon abilities, and it would just like shave off their health.
Oh, okay.
So not really a combo per se, but just a specific type of abilities. Specifically, those abilities that stay in a certain spot and just like do damage as you hit them. Those are really busted in this game.
Okay.
Like
Well,
removes a little thunder sphere that just stays in the spot. And there's like 3 other abilities that are like that. They stack on top of each other.
so like overall, would you say this combo system is like, you know, it could probably get out there, but I haven't been willing to really try it all that much, because I'm like, normal damage does enough. I don't feel like.
I'll say this: if there's like any tech in this game, it's not necessary. Like, sure, cool, you found it, but you don't need it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it. We got a super chat from Shattered Glass 23, $5 super chat. Thank you, Shattered Glass. 16 was good, but Final Fantasy 7 Remake battle system would have been a better choice. Was a perfect hybrid of turn-based and action, which
I think he was saying that more so as a question.
Oh, okay.
But would Final Fantasy VII's battle system would that have been a better choice? I think so. He's asking you that.
On a personal level, I wouldn't care either way.
I think it would have been more of a RPG. Like, people wouldn't be complaining about it as much if it did go the Final Fantasy Remake route.
Well, because in 7 Remake, don't you have to sometimes switch between party members to do specific actions? But Clive is the only person here. He doesn't have a party.
Yeah, so like...
Well, you have Torgal, I guess, but he doesn't not even necessary.
Yeah, he doesn't do it.
I haven't played 7 Remake yet, but what if there's one critique I've been hearing people have about the 7 Remake from a gameplay standpoint is a lot of people I heard had an issue with the dodging mechanic in 7 Remake. How do you guys feel about that? A lot of people felt it wasn't really, it really didn't do anything.
I don't recall. I didn't play too much of the game.
I don't recall the dodging mechanic being that much of an issue.
Yeah, I heard people say the dodging mechanic in 7 Remake it didn't like do its job the way they felt it should. And the only reason I bring that up is because like there's one thing you hear people praise 16 for, it's its gameplay and movement and all of that stuff going on. So I think I wouldn't probably say that 7 Remake's battle system would have been better, but I do think maybe some things from both sides could help the other side. Like obviously the JRPG mechanics that 7 Remake probably had could probably help this, and in regards to like the movement and how fluid it feels, it probably is better here. So maybe somewhere in the middle between these two.
Yeah, I think the battle system here is fine, but yeah, 7 Remake's battle system I absolutely love and adore. Don't remember that dodging being a problem, but it is what it is. I don't know. I guess leave that combat system to 7 Remake, and you got 7 Remake Part 2 coming about, so it's making improvements. But that probably would have been like 7 Remake's battle system is good for like a party, like 3 people. Like Bao said, you got Torgal here and maybe Jill here and there, but it's just like you really just play as Clive. I guess they really wanted to get away from that party system, and that's another thing. Like you have characters here that would have made for a great party system. You've got freaking Jill, Torgal, Gov, whatever his name is, Sid. And
only issue with that is Clive is so busted that everyone else would just feel meh in comparison.
That's true, but I feel like they could have made like, you know, Jill's icon abilities play out a little bit, baby. Maybe she could have freezed enemies, you know, shattered some enemies after a certain HP point. I don't know. They could have done something. I feel like they just wanted to do Clive because it was just the easier route than doing a full force party members, and you know, timing about releasing the game probably was like the game will release faster if you just do one party member. But hey, it is what it is. I think they could have done something with a full party cast.
And people are saying in the chat the issue with 7 remakes dodging is that it gives you no iframes.
Oh, no invincibility frames. Okay.
So that's probably why a decent amount of people had some issues with it. Because they probably were trying to dodge, relying on the iframes, and then it didn't work. And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with this dodge? You know?
I mean, I get that. It's pretty normalized nowadays. It's kind of weird not to have it.
Maybe they will change that in 7 remake part 2.
Yeah, they're doing a lot in 7 remake part 2. So I think we said from a sales standpoint, it's probably a flop for Square Enix. But we could look at a game like Street Fighter 6. I think its first couple of weeks sold like 2 million, and that's not considered a flop, right? In any case, from Capcom or from just a regular game standpoint, with 2 million.
I guess it really depends just how much money they put into this game, which I'm assuming is a ton.
Yeah, they had to have. Yeah, they probably put a lot going with all its production values. We got one person in the chat saying 2 million for a fighting game is massive. Yeah, that's probably really good. And Street Fighter 6 is really good. Even though I haven't played it yet, I've watched a ton of streams on it. I want to play it, but I don't feel like. Well, how much is it? Like $60, $70? I don't feel like
it's full price.
Yeah, I don't feel like doing that.
I would also assume that maybe. Okay, hold up. Firstly, I gotta ask the question: did Square come out and say that they felt that 16, sales-wise, didn't meet whatever expectations they set for it? Did they come out and say that?
Not yet. But they haven't said anything. Like, have they?
They're just inferring from their past history with sales.
No, I understand that, but the only reason I asked that is because of the fact that this is obviously a PlayStation 5 exclusive. So it's like, I want to figure out what they thought would be a successful amount to sell with the demographic that have PlayStation 5 versus previous Final Fantasy games. Yeah, versus previous Final Fantasy games that were launching multi-platform.
I think Miles said it earlier. He said like 20 million.
You saying 20 million for what? 15?
16.
That's what they wanted?
That's what they wanted. What they wanted.
No, we were talking about Tomb Raider and what their like sales expectations were for that.
So yeah, that's Tomb Raider though. But like I said,
but how do we think, Bao, that Square Enix didn't think maybe 3 million was enough? What do they think they probably wanted for this game?
For a game with this profile, I'm sure you would want at least 10 million, regardless of install base.
On the
Final
PS5,
Fantasy, it's an insane amount of marketing this had. Having played the game, the insane amount of just detail they put into everything from the boss battles to the visuals. Like, I'm sure this costs a ton to make, so they probably want a big number to break even.
I think the thing though that they have to understand, though, at least hopefully I would hope that once they're looking over their books and everything like that they'd have to understand it's like you're taking a big step away from what I guess your core demographic are accustomed to per se. So yeah, the core demographic are probably going to be picking it up anyway just because it's Final Fantasy. But not everyone. So there are going to be some. And then there are also going to be those who just have moved from the PlayStation and are waiting for it to come for something else. They're like, well, I'll just wait till it shows up on PC. Or I'll wait till it shows up on whatever else after, instead of it just getting it on the PlayStation 5. Because there are people who I know particularly have been PlayStation 5 JRPG players and have switched to a PC specifically because of games coming out with more features or a more polished version of the game on the PC, and decided, well, I'm no longer going to be playing on my console, I'm going to play on my PC going forward. And those players may not pick up the game on the PlayStation 5 if they've already swapped out from console to PC. So I think they have to factor in all of that in their thought processes when it comes to the game.
Fair enough. We got a super chat from Asbel Lant 100 $5 super chat. I've got a premonition. After Naruto, we get East 9, then Kuro 1 and 2. By the time Kuro 3 will be done and localized, after that, East 11 will be ready. Riku, your
East
thoughts?
11, jeez. In regards to Ease 11, I'm interested in regards to what Falcom has talking about. There was a recent news. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit. but them saying that they are working on another entry of a Final Con game that isn't related to Trails or Ease. You know, obviously the first guess people are like, Tokyo Xanadu 2, let's go, and I'm just like,
God.
But we talked about Tokyo Xanadu earlier before the podcast started, and we came to the conclusion as long as the gameplay is a bit better, then I wouldn't be opposed to a Tokyo Xanadu 2. But if it is Tokyo Xanadu 2, I would assume that would probably come out before Ease 11, because you know Tokyo Xanadu is a action orientated game, unlike Trails, which is more so turn based, but Ease is also action orientated. So it's like, who would be working on this Tokyo Xanadu 2 if Tokyo Xanadu 2 is a thing? It would probably be the Ease team. So I would assume that would probably take time away from Ease 11 if they were to go straight into Ease 11 after Ease 10. So I would throw that one in there. But as far as what he's saying here, it doesn't seem improbable. That sounds about right.
Okay. One more thing about Final Fantasy 16, Bob. I know you said you couldn't rank it, but like, where do you think it's at? Do you think it's on the higher echelon of Final Fantasy? Like, if you had to put it in a tier list, would it be an A, B, or C? Top 10, top 5, maybe? Can you get that far?
I'd say somewhere dead in the middle, honestly, for me.
Okay. Fair enough. We got another super chat from Shattered Glass 23, $5 super chat. I think word of mouth on Final Fantasy 16 will sell it over time. Plus, Sony probably said Square probably what? Plus, Sony probably probably paid Square pretty well.
They've definitely paid them.
Yeah,
but,
they've definitely paid them.
I mean, is whatever Sony's willing to pay them worth? Like, is it more than what they would make selling on other consoles? I don't think so. I think the reason why Square takes the deal from Sony is because they've got a long running relationship, and I think especially they're both Japanese companies. I think that sort of like loyalty kind of thing, or the sort of honor or whatever, however you want to look at it. I think there is a bit of a cultural reason why they've maintained that sort of exclusivity with them, for so long. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I feel anyway.
I feel like if the case were like Sony paid Square like pretty damn well, like I feel like how could Microsoft not pay Square Enix even more, like to get it not exclusivity, get it on Xbox? So I don't know. Like obviously Microsoft likes to throw their money around with Xbox. So how they couldn't get it for 16, I guess there's some loyalty there. Maybe there's a contract there with like the next few Final Fantasies that have to be exclusive. I don't know, but hey, it was probably there. Microsoft probably did put their money on the table and said, "Hey, man, even if you're in breach of contract, we can cover that breach of contract cost. Don't worry about it."
Definitely.
All right. So that's Final Fantasy 16. Pretty good sales, I would say. Pretty good game. If I had to rank it, it's probably somewhere in the top 10 Final Fantasies, maybe. For me, I'm not going to put this in top 5 unless the ending really, really wows me, which I'm hearing from various friends. It's like the story just kind of goes in a direction. So I'll see what happens.
A good direction or a bad direction?
It's like a WTF direction. So, we'll see. We'll
to be
see
fair, a nice chunk of JRPGs, once they get around their like last push, they kind of push what the fuck territory. It's damn near a JRPG trope. To be fair,
could
like,
be.
you remember what you were saying about Tales of Arise?
Oh god, that game like halfway through kind of fell off. I don't know. The story, at least the story. Actually, even the gameplay. Getting to those bosses with the sponge HP. It's just, oh my god, it's bringing PTSD, borderline PTSD. Shout out to Tales of Arise. All right, so that's Final Fantasy 16. Actually, you know what, chat? What's your final rating on 16? What do you guys give it? 8, 10, 9? Is it the best? Is it better than Final Fantasy 6? Because we all know, you all know 6 is the GOAT. We all know that 6 is the absolute GOAT. No.
I think we all agree it's above 15, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Correct.
Is it above 13?
No, it's not above 13. I think it's above 15.
I'll say yes.
Really?
Oh,
Maybe
wow.
13-1, but I know a lot of people that will defend 13-2 in Lightning Returns. So
I mean, I'm just saying because I haven't finished Final Fantasy 16. As you all know, I have only played the demo. But that being said, the fact of the matter is it's above 15 because 15 is a crew of just bandos, and as we know, that essentially it lowers its stock in the market of JRPGs. But 13 does have a bunch of good waifus in there. Lightning is awesome. So, generally speaking, I think it's above 15, but lower than 13. Pretty much.
All right, let's see what the chat's giving it. Acebreaker gave it an 8 out of 10. Asbel Launch says 7.5. Triplin 8 out of 10. O-Dog 8. Silver Wolf give it a 16 out of 8. All right. Dream Chaser 8.5. The Urge Crusher 9 out of 10. Night Fury 8 out of 10. Okay, waiting for 16 to come to the PC out of 10 by my Zio.
That's what I'm saying. Preach the good word.
Lord. KJ 92, 7 out of 10. McLaren 6 out of 10. Kyle 8 to 9. That's pretty high. Nightwolf 8.5. 7 from Gamer of Time. J Run 6.5 out of 10. Holy crap. Final Fantasy 6 overrated. You make me sick. Klaus the Wolf 7.5. The Geek Show 8 out of 10. Interesting. Optic Gamer 8 out of 10. Brewglaive 8 out of 10. Carmenado 8.5. Black Dragon LeBron out of 10. How does this game affect LeBron's legacy? I don't know. These are the questions that we have to ask. Ragnosaki 6 out of 10. Wow, we getting some 6 out of 10s here. Interesting. Ricardo Belmont still playing it, but I'll give it an 8. Okay, all right. Uchinan Obi 8 out of 10. Interesting. Yorha got a 9 out of 10. Okay, so pretty positive scores for this one. I guess everybody did enjoy it. There was some 6.5s there, but it is what it is. Alrighty. Let's get into this Trails into Greatness, I guess you could say. Riku, is it Trails into Greatness? Do I have it correct?
damn straight.
All right. So, major release happened about a week ago. Trails into Reverie, the newest Trails of game. Even though it came out in 2020 in Japan. But
Whoa! Hold up. Did you say Trails of?
Wait, did I say Trails?
The Heresy.
Oh, Trails into Heresy. I'm sorry.
We don't call it. We don't call it Trails of. This isn't Tales of.
I apologize. I stepped out of line. I apologize. It's rare for me to apologize. Let me put some respect on Trails' name. Trails into Reverie. All right. So this is not going to be a spoiler talk about Trails into Reverie. We will hold its own special spoiler talk at another day. I think Riku, we've agreed kind of to be in sometime in August, early August, I believe.
That'll give me
sometime in I would say at earliest sometime in August, at latest early September. I know people have lives.
Okay.
Yeah, we know people have lives. People may not get the game like week 1 or week 2 or what type of thing. So seeing how things go, I would say at latest sometime in September, at earliest sometime early August. I feel like that's a reasonable amount of time for us, the players, and you guys, the viewers, to like get through at least the story beats that we would be covering in it. I do know there are some like for anyone that hasn't played Reverie, they have something in here that is equivalent to what Trails in the Sky Third Chapter has. It's Star Doors related things, and within some of these Star Doors, some story beats I feel like are also worth talking about in this spoiler cast, and some of that may be within its post game content as well. So I would assume that would rope into your playtime as well. So, like I said, that's where we're looking at right now. But we'll update you guys in regards to that, because we got Shadow here, and he's a wild card in regards to like knocking shit out. And then we might also have Blake on here, and Blake is Blake's been all over the place. I saw him on Final Fantasy 14 the other day. I'm like, what the fuck's going on with him? Point is, Blake plays most of the games on stream, so it's like him finishing the games is also like a wild card as well. So, like I said, we'll keep you up to date on that.
Yeah, we'll also
So
try
you're
to
not
get
even
some.
gonna mention me, Riku. Are you just leaving me out of the equation?
Oh
you
my
know?
god, you know damn
We're
well
not doing this in 2024, okay? So it's like
also for the spoiler cast, we'll try to get on some special guests like Kizuki Nut. I have to get his contact information and see if I can get him on. Maybe we'll get some other people who have definitely played all the Trails games into it. Not too many people because I don't want the conversation to be too go off the rails in certain areas.
just sort of try to aim like an hour and a half or two or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Super chat from Silver Wolf 26, $20 super chat. Thank you very much, good sir. We finally talking about Trails into Rixia and Emma. Ooh, I like this guy. This guy is great. I like this guy. I normally say Emma, but now I don't like this guy. I normally say Emma, but I can't do that in this one since my other fave Rixia is in here. Did I say her name right? Risa. I'm sorry.
It's Risha.
Risa. Okay. I apologize. Put some respect on Trail's name. So you will always put Emma above all else. You know, it goes Emma
Lord?
and then the rest of the cast and the rest of everybody else.
Crazy.
You know,
Yeah.
every now and then I think Shadow's a sane person, and then he proves he's insane. You know,
Oh
like,
man. See,
seriously.
I'm so sane about this. I'm insane. Because it's just 100% right. Listen. We read the road of Emma around these parts. We know Emma is best girl, and when I finally get her in the party, she's never coming out ever. Even after to play as other people, I'm gonna find some way to cheat and get Emma into the party. Trust me, it's gonna happen.
Is there a way that Emma dies in the story? You know, just,
Jeez. I'm not gonna say that, but there are moments where you will get Emma, but they will take Emma away from you. So
perfect.
it's like
That sounds about right.
Ah man,
that's the closest you'll get to like
I'm docking points
No
on this
Emma.
game every time Emma is taking out the
Lord?
party and I can't use it. So.
crazy.
Hey man, I don't make these crazy rules. I just tell it like it is. I just that's the way it happens. $10 super chat from Cranberry. Would love to see Kizuki Nut on Kizuki Nut because love all y'all. Okay, all right. So yeah, we're gonna try to get Kizuki Nut on the spoiler cast. We'll see what happens. See what their schedule's looking like. Super chat from Night Fury. $2 super chat. That's a weird way to say Vita Shadow. Ah man, listen, Vita is dead. And the Vita is also irrelevant. So, you know, when you got two things that are associated with just being irrelevant and dead, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like it's just not true. All right, man. Listen, Emma, we all know that. Super chat from Cranberry, $10 super chat. Would love. Oh, wait, we already did that.
No, that's actually he paid twice for that same comment.
He did.
Like,
He did. Okay,
yeah,
no.
he's done it twice for Kiskuna, so you got to read it twice.
Okay, yeah, I gotta read it twice. Cranberry again, $10 super chat. Would love to have Kizuki Nut on. I'd Kizuki Nut. I just realized what he said. I'd Kizuki Nut. Get it? He'll not. Okay, let me keep going because
Crazy.
love all y'all.
You know
Lord
the
have
weird
mercy.
thing, right? The weird thing is I probably pass Kiski Nut every now and then because as far as I'm aware, we live in the same town, but I've never met the guy, never spoke to him. So
Yeah, you gotta make sure you talk to him. Get some good communication going on so you can come on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Get
we
some
go into
promotion.
probably the same game shops to pick up games and don't know each other. Essentially, I know what he looks like, but who knows?
I bet. Make sure you talk to that man. Don't worry, I got it. I'll talk to him. Sebastian Perry with the $5. Good show, Bauer and friends. Okay, but I have to dip. Enjoyed talking about Trails into Reverie. Also, I'm adding $100 in favor of a bow for the key. Wow.
So basically, Sebastian is putting. Wait, is that Sebastian giving Bao 100, or is he just adding 100 on top of the 1,000 that Bao is gonna give me?
Whoever wins gets 1,100 at this point.
I'm just saying, I'll take that 1,100 nicely, you know.
Oh man, we gotta make sure we keep track of this bet. After each month, I'm gonna check in. I'm gonna keep checking in on UQ. Don't worry. I'll make sure you don't
look
forget.
at my name in the chat on the podcast. You will see some things that have been going on.
Oh man,
I'm taking this money.
Alrighty, so that's all the super chats. Let's talk about Trails in the Reverie. I got to play a couple of hours into the game on Act 3, which I know that's like really early on. How many acts are in this game, Riku?
Um, it's looking like about maybe 5 each.
5 each. Okay, so that's still very
But
early
yeah,
on.
this in regards to the acts are definitely not the same in length.
So I'm very much enjoying this game. Like I said before, I was tired of the Trails games by the time I was done with 4. So having this 2-year layoff from the games and coming back, it's really nice. And while I did receive a review copy, I tried to bum rush to it, but like I got a life. I can't bum rush through the game. I can't do that, especially to this game. There's no way I can do that. So I said, you know what? I gotta finish these games in order. Let me get 16. Let me throw in Xenoblade 3 in there, and then I'm gonna go back into Reverie, and then I'll kick it up from there. Definitely for that spoiled class. But yeah, I was definitely enjoying the game. I can't tell you too much on it from a story perspective because spoilers. But from a gameplay perspective, it's the same great Trails that you love with some new stuff. What is it called again? Riku with the God, I forget it. It's called in battle. You can do a heal, an attack, or like a magic attack with the whole party members.
So the United Front system that they added.
They add that. It's pretty cool. More ways to interact with characters in battle, more strategy, more ways to defend yourself, I guess you could say. Like how they went the Persona route. They actually tell you when you're using magic what's a weakness is to some enemies. Pretty cool. I mean, that's always nice, even though if you just, scan the enemy and just look at them, see if they're like 120 in dark or black or whatever it's called, you'll know that's a weakness. But hey, it is what it is. It's nice to see it there. But yeah, there's some other gameplay stuff that they added. I'm sure Riku will go into detail in that one. Before that, we got a super chat from Cranberry, $5 super chat. Sebastian has the right idea. I'll add $100 to their bet. Oh my God.
So I'm getting 1,200. Is that it, right?
Oh, man.
I'm getting 12. You know what? You guys are buying me a Steam Deck, and I think I might as well get an Xbox Series X. Your boys be needing some new gear, to be honest.
Lord,
Why the fuck do you need a Series X?
Well, to be honest, I don't. But I'll just might as well.
He just wants to flex on everybody. That's all. He just wants to flex on everybody. I got everything.
To be honest, I have updated my Switch to a OLED Switch, and I don't need that. So, to ask me such a question is redundant. There's a mod in my office. Why is there a mod in my office?
But yeah, adding $100 to that bet, so it's at £1,200. So Bao and Q, I hope you guys are ready. Man, this is insane. But
Is it?
well, Bao, you're very confident. I like your confidence, but we'll see. I do agree that window of time is short, so we'll see what happens. So one of the things about Reverie that I can talk about, I guess you could say, for the story without getting into spoilers, I guess, is that you have to read or you can listen on YouTube to a certain in-game literature that the game has. It's called 3 and 9, and it's very important for the new characters. Lord, what
Jesus.
the freak is somebody dying?
That boy Q
happened?
fighting somebody in his kitchen. I don't know.
Yo, somebody.
There was a moth in his office.
Oh my!
Insane.
I'm gonna say there was the last piece of chicken and he was trying to fight for it. That's my canon. But yeah, so yeah, you have to read some literature or listen to some literature about 3 and 9 to get background on certain characters. And as much as Riku and Blake are telling me that this is a really good read, I don't doubt that it's a good read. I'm just saying, if this stuff is so important, why couldn't you just put it in the game? It kind of goes back to, I believe, Cold Steel 3 and 4 with Blood Moon Rose or something like that. It's like, if this is so important, can't you put it in the game? But I think Riku already said that Blood Moon Rose wasn't all that important. But yeah, I'm gonna mute. Like somebody's dying over there.
Yeah, definitely go ahead and mute that goose.
Let me make sure I mute this end for now. Okay, so yeah. Wait, did I mute myself or did I mute Q? I mean Q.
No, we can still hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, it's a very interesting thing. I'm not a fan of that myself, but I will get around to listening to the audio log when I can. But as a whole, not a fan of that type of storytelling, I guess you could say. Riku, the floor is yours. You may talk about Trails in the Reverie, what you like. Remember, I think so crazy, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and start off with your comment on 3 and 9, and then the Red Moon Rose comment as well. On this podcast, a couple years ago, we recommended that people read Red Moon Rose prior to playing Cold Steel 4. And I remember saying that, yeah, it should hold some significance in regards to like what's going on in Cold Steel 4. And this was me going off of what I heard, what was being implied in the story, and you know, when you play the stuff in Cold Steel 4, if you haven't played it yet, it's not really that big of a spoiler if you haven't played Cold Steel 4, so you're fine. But we come to find out that Red Moon Rose wasn't as significant as we thought it was going to be. So I'll hold a little mini lowercase L in regards to like really pushing to the read on Red Moon Rose, even though I feel like Red Moon Rose was a decent read in regards to significance to the overarching story. It wasn't as important as I personally thought it was, right? So with that being said, in regards to 3 and 9, I'm definitely going to push 3 and 9 because of the fact that, one, I've seen it play out. I've seen the significance in regards to 3 and 9 play out in Reverie, and it's definitely far more significant than Red Moon Rose was to Cold Steel 4 or any of the other side short stories that Trails have had done thus far to whatever it's referencing, like even Carnelia, all the other ones that you could possibly. This one's far more significant than all of them. Additionally, it's better, like in regards to like a written story. Also has a very good romance in there, nice fight scenes and all that stuff. It's just a very good short story. And in regards to you know, if you bought the limited edition, it comes with a illustrated short novel copy of 3 and 9. It has a whole bunch of nice illustrations in there, so definitely read it if you got it that way. It seems like a good way to read it. And then obviously when you turn your game on, unlike, you know, previous Trails games where they kind of make you go out of your way to find chapters of these short stories and read them as you find them, or you can look on the wiki or whatever. When you load up your game for Reverie and you go over to like one of the menus, that, you know, every Trails game at this point has like a little menu system that you can go to and read a synopsis of what happened in the previous games. And obviously we always say don't really read those. It's calling it a Cliff Notes version of the previous games is not, it doesn't even do them justice. But within there, they also have 3 and 9 there, because the first place 3 and 9 debuted was in Cold Steel 4. You can find all of the chapters of 3 and 9 and read it in Cold Steel 4. So they brought all of that, and it's at the main menu for Reverie. So that's like your easy way to read it. Like I was recommending The Shadow. Yeah, you just there's a decent amount of people on YouTube that you can, you know, listen to them audio read it to you. And there's a nice handful of ones out there that do a good job. So just play it in the background when you're like at work or whatever and knock it out, right? But I will definitely highly recommend it as a companion story that definitely will, in my opinion, significantly make you appreciate the story that one of the routes that Reverie will present to you. But yeah, 3 and 9, that's a good thing. Gameplay wise, when you were talking about United Fronts, yeah, United Fronts are cool. I like them. I was telling, I think I was talking to some of you in Shadow's Discord about United Fronts. I like the fact that United Fronts makes the tempo in regards to the speed of encounters go by a lot faster than they would prior to United Fronts. Because prior to United Fronts, you know, you would do your traditional Trails combat and get through an encounter fight. And an encounter fight in Trails, in comparison to an encounter fight in any other JRPG or even like Pokemon or whatever, Trails definitely takes a longer time to get through your typical regular encounter fight in comparison to those, right?
Now wait, I want to stop you there just real quick. You play on like nightmare difficulty, so is that factoring in?
No, I would say even on. I think because I've heard this from like a decent amount of people, and Falcom has said this themselves that the tempo, the game. When I say the tempo, I'm talking about the gameplay speed it takes to get through your typical encounter, regular encounter. It is undeniably longer to get through them than you would in any other turn-based JRPG. Because you have to factor in the fact that your characters are moving, the spells, and this and that, whatnot. It's one of the reasons why they gave us a turbo mode to get through them faster, an auto attack to get through them faster, and also one of the main reasons why, when it comes to the next installment, Kuro, it's that portion of it is action based, right? Falcom has realized that the tempo speed when it comes to regular encounters is on the slower end. So their response to that was to give us the ability to make that portion of it action in Kuro. That was one of their main reasons. Outside of any other reason that you could possibly hear, that was the main reason, because they felt it was on the slower end of things. And the reason I'm saying that is because using the United Front system, the attack and the magic variations of it, you can definitely tear through regular encounters faster than you have ever before from all of the other 9 Trails games. You can get through them really fast. And I do like the fact that this United Front system uses your assault gauge. And you remember your assault gauge, it debuted in Cold Steel 3. It's that little purple gauge at the bottom right of your HUD when you're running around in the field. And you used it to do an assault attack and start a triple advantage on the enemy. And then the enemies, their break gauge is like at half, and you get some. I think you get some CP. But now with the fact that the United Front system uses that gauge, it makes the player not really second guess, but think about whether or not they want to use that assault attack on the enemy in front of them, because it's like, okay, if you're starting the game off, as far as I remember, you only have like either 1 or 2 assault gauges. I can't remember. Someone's gonna have to remind me because it's been a while. I've unlocked. Later you will have the ability to unlock more assault gauges, so I can't remember what the default is. But the point is, if you use your assault gauge to start the battle, you don't have an assault gauge to use the United Front system. So now it's like this back and forth of like, okay, I see this enemy, but I'm not gonna hit him with the assault attack because I want to save that assault gauge to use the United Front in the battle. So now you're kind of using the old-fashioned way of like starting an attack with someone, which is running up on them, hitting them from behind, or hitting them from the front, whatever the case. So it kind of makes the previous mechanic a little more useful, or it gives you an incentive to use the previous way that we were doing it in Cold Steel 1 and 2. Because that was the only way you would do it in Cold Steel 1 and 2 and the crossbow games as well, as smack them and then go up and do it. But when we got to Cold Steel 3 and 4, it's like, okay, I'm just going to smack these boxes, fill up my assault gauge, assault attack, right? And the only time you would not use the assault attack is if you didn't have any assault gauge to do the assault attack. But if you had enough, you wouldn't second guess about it. Most of the time you would just use the assault attack. So it kind of added an extra little gameplay layer for the player to consider whether or not they should use or not use the assault attack on this enemy or not. Because like, you get into a battle and you don't have that assault attack. At least when you're playing on the higher difficulties, it's useful. On lower difficulties, doesn't really matter. When I say lower difficulties, I'm more so talking about very easy all the way up to, honestly, debatably hard. Doesn't feel like the assault gauge or anything I'm saying right now even fucking matters.
Now, wait.
That's one thing.
How exactly do you know that? You're playing on Nightmare. Do you go back and just change the difficulty to normal to know all that, or what's going on there?
The only reason I'm saying that is because I've heard that from people who have been playing on those difficulties and lower. Okay. And I've been talking to like Blake, for example, and he has been messing around with the United Front system, and he just say, "Oh, this is OP. I don't really feel like I need to." And I've been watching him. He hasn't really been using it the way I guess it was intended to be used. And it seems like the one of the main ways it was supposed to be intended to use, outside of making encounters go faster, which he's not doing it that way either, is during boss battle fights. Like, for example, the third one that I haven't really been talking. You have the attack one and the magic one, but you have the heal one, where when you activate it, everyone on your team gets like half of their health back and a defense buff, and then 3 bravery points. On the more challenging difficulties, this definitely comes in handy. I think another thing that the healing one does is that it heals all ailments across all of your characters. So that's good too. So it's because it's like, when you're fighting something and they hit you with a poison or they hit you with a seal, and you're using a specific character, or the squad that you have right now doesn't have anyone that can heal. It's like you either have 2 options. You can either like go to your items and use a curia, which probably only heal 1 person, or you can use that new feature and heal everyone right there on the spot, and heal their health if they were damaged, and give them a defense buff. But on the lower difficulties, doesn't really matter, right? So that's what I was more so talking about. Like,
Jesus, Riku, you can go in on one mechanic.
Hey! You think I'm just sitting here putting 4 hours for nothing?
God damn, bro!
I'm not.
We just
you wanted me to go
one
off,
mechanic,
man,
and you went
I
off.
zoned out 15 minutes ago, man.
Oh my
So
god!
down 15 minutes ago.
God damn, man! Like, give me the Cliff Notes version.
There is no Cliff Notes version of this. You should have seen this coming. You asked me to go in.
I didn't hear a word.
This is your fault.
I keep
for
forgetting.
the past 15 minutes.
This is your fault.
I keep forgetting what
I warned
I'm
you.
dealing with here. Oh my god! All right.
I will cut it short for now, because obviously this is a to be continued when we get to the spoiler cast and we talk about the gameplay there. Point is,
God.
in
what
my
else
opinion,
in the gameplay? What else in the gameplay that you like? Keep it short
I'm gonna wrap it up here, right here, when it comes to the gameplay. All I'm gonna say is that from a gameplay standpoint, in my opinion, Trails into Reverie has the best gameplay than in comparison to all of the Trails games before. Prior, I thought that was like a toss-up between Cold Steel 4 and Azure. I would say it's Reverie now. Like, with everything it's got going on and how you can juggle all of that stuff, if you're playing on a difficulty that is challenging you and incentivizes you to use all of its mechanics, it's by far the best one in comparison to all of the other ones prior.
Okay.
I'll end it right there.
All right. Now we're gonna go into story, but I will say this: when we do the spoiler cast, I'm definitely gonna make sure to have a stopwatch or a gong when you go on for like more than like 5 minutes. I don't know, hit it. I'm like, wrap up your thought process in this particular area. All right. Goddamn, Falcom's finest. All right, man. I forget who I'm dealing with here. So yeah, Riku, non-spoiler. What do you think about the story? Non-spoiler.
Non-spoiler. I would say I'm going to compare this to, because I feel like I was the first one to say this, but whatever. It's just how I felt. But you hear this a lot, especially in like online or whatnot, that people say that they say 2 things. Trails is quote unquote the One Piece of JRPGs in regards to like its like length of its story, and then another thing you hear people say is Trails is like the Marvel Cinematic Universe of JRPGs when it comes to stories. And they'll say, oh, Cold Steel 2 is like this Captain America Civil War, because there was like a civil war going on in Cold Steel 2. Cold Steel 3 is like the Infinity War, and Cold Steel 4 is like the End Game. And it's like, you could see the comparisons and whatnot, and technically these Trails games did predate the MCU, a fun fact. But the point is, when we watched Endgame, after Endgame, I think we can all agree that the stakes and the story and all that stuff started to like slow down, right? So if you watched anything after Endgame, I would say outside of, I guess, No Way Home, a lot of it has felt like you could tell the stakes are slowing down and they're trying to build up whatever the hell they're going to next. Mm-hmm. You feel that vibe in Reverie, where the stakes and everything that happened in Cold Steel 4 more so or less came to an end in Cold Steel 4, and we're dealing with the aftermath of the things that happened in Cold Steel 4. And in regards to the story or the stories that happen in Reverie, they obviously were trying to bring it from an angle where they had to really make something up in regards to like meshing it with a story that they can give us that is intriguing enough, but also we all know this. There's a portion of the story that links into Kuro no Kiseki, so that's one part of the story that links into Kuro no Kiseki. There's the other story that has connections to stuff that happened in Cold Steel 4 if you were paying attention to the story beats that Cold Steel 4 was trying to take you through. And then there's that other story that is specifically meant for Reverie. And that one is the one that I think people's opinions on that specific story can be mixed. Some might like it, some may think it's contrived. Whatever the case, that's, I guess at that point it's up to what the player thinks in regards to that. What I would say in regards to that is, I don't recall anyone having an issue with this type of story that, they're introducing specifically only for this one, and it really isn't going to be seen or expand upon outside of this one in Trails in the Sky 3rd chapter. If you remember the main story that happened in Trails in the Sky 3rd chapter, it had all to do with Kevin and the church, and we might see the church later on, but in regards to like everything that happened in 3rd chapter, it kind of stayed in 3rd chapter, So it's like,
yep,
similar here. So it's like, I feel like if you're someone that was a big fan of Trails in the Sky 3rd chapter, there's a mid to high chance that you would like what's going on in Reverie, because they definitely have a lot of similarities.
I will say that I wasn't the biggest fan of 3rd chapter, but I was a Kevin fan. So I want to see this man show up somewhere at some point.
Lord?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, about that. You might not see your boy Kevin, but I think they have a roster big enough for you to be happy for who you will see in here. Definitely a lot of returning characters that a nice chunk of them we did not get to see in Cold Steel 1 all the way to 4. And the returning characters you do see, you're going to be very happy about them. And that's one thing I do like about this specific entry, is that the returning characters and the guest characters from previous Trails games, from a gameplay standpoint, they feel fleshed out enough. That was one of my critiques when it came to Cold Steel 4 and 3, is that when you got a guest character, you're like, woohoo, guest character! I love seeing this character from a previous game be in my party and whatnot. And then gameplay wise, they felt restricted. You couldn't really mess around with their quartz setup. You couldn't really mess around with their accessory setup. So like if there was an enemy that had like a death element attack, usually I would try to like put something on my characters that had death element prevention. But when it came to those guest characters, since you can't mess around with anything, most of the time they won't come with like a death protection type of thing. So they just have to take the fucking L when the death attack comes. And that always pissed me off. But this time around, you don't have to worry about that. Everyone, you can customize all of them, and I like that. But yeah, going back to the story, you have a lot to dig into when it comes to this. There's a lot of moving pieces, and I feel like there's something here for everybody, and I like that.
So in regards to the characters here, isn't there like a dreaded word that we don't like to use in our main games, but it's a kind of a mechanic in this game from what I saw very early on from what I saw, but it is a gotcha summoning system in this game?
Okay, so if we're going to let's talk about the gotcha. So you heard it here, you heard it here. There's quote-unquote gotcha in Trails into Reverie. So what I will say about this, when I first heard about it, before we even got our hands on the game, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Riku, Jesus Christ.
What happened?
2 sentences or less.
I don't know if I can do that. I will try. We'll try.
I'll give you 4 sentences.
Here's what I will say about the gotcha, right? The game lets you know that they let you like straight up know, yes, there is gotcha here. But in regards to the tokens that you will be given to participate in this gacha for let's just say the characters that you can unlock via there. Because I'm just gonna let you guys know the way you unlock the side characters that don't play up an important role in the story. You unlock them via a gacha system that is somewhat similar to how Xenoblade Chronicles 2 does it. But the difference is, in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, you had your generic blades and whatnot. You would grab a generic blade and you don't like it, you might throw it back into the pool. In this one, they give you the tokens that you get to unlock the characters. You only get a specific amount, and that specific amount is how many characters are in there. So there is no like you pull a character and you're like, oh, I don't, this character is a generic, I don't throw it back in there. It's like they're saying eventually you'll have everyone. The only difference is the order in which you get everyone.
Can I ask
like I said, from a gameplay, I'll say this. From a gameplay standpoint, seems like all of the ones that you get, they're all fun to play. So like, if you pull someone that you don't like from a character standpoint, at least I will defend them from a gameplay standpoint. What are you gonna say, Q?
So a question about that is, so it's random the characters that you pull. Whatever currency you're using to pull those random characters, is it enough like through the gameplay, like just general gameplay, or do you have to go off the beaten path to guarantee that you're gonna get everyone by the end of by credits roll?
There is a specific thing. There is a Mementos equivalent. Did you play Persona 5, Q?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so you understand what the Mementos, when I say there is a Mementos equivalent. There is a dungeon that you're going to be crawling, and as you're going through that dungeon, there are specific bosses in that dungeon that are, you can't skip them. You need to beat them to progress through it, and those are the ones that drop this specific token that you need to use in that, gacha system to unlock a character. So by the time you're done with that dungeon, you have all of the tokens that you need to go and, redeem your characters. You should have all of them. Okay. So there is no there's no like random thing or I didn't find it or whatnot. So that's all I'll say in regards to the defense of it. It's I wouldn't call it full gacha. This is like semi gacha. Like the only random aspect of this is the order in which you get your characters in.
And I will say that you can reload your game if you want something different. Pretty fast reload time.
I was gonna ask that
and get something different. So that's pretty cool. I started out with. Is it really a spoiler? I don't know. Is it a spoiler, Riku? What do you think?
I will say let's refrain from saying the characters that we get.
Okay, so I got one character, Blake, and Riku got different characters. And I think I reloaded my game a couple of times and I got the same character. I don't know what happened there, but that was the first summon, so it was a little bit weird.
I'll tell you what, the first summon that you got, in my opinion, that's the best Brave Order in the entire... Not Brave Order. Yeah, no, they have the best Brave Order in the entire game, in my opinion.
Okay.
Surprisingly enough. But, I pulled a different character than Shadow pulled, and Blake pulled a different character, which is weird because it's like when Shadow said Shadow didn't know any better earlier, and he thought Emma was one of the characters that he could pull from this thing.
I was freaking out.
He was in my DMs telling me, I'm not leaving this gacha system game until I pull Emma. I'm gonna keep on reloading my game and scum save until I get Emma. And I was like, Shadow, you don't unlock Emma through the gacha. You unlock Emma via story. And he was like, oh, never mind then. Like, Jesus Christ. This man was about... I told Blake this, and Blake was like, you probably shouldn't have told him that, and you should have just let him sit there for like 2 days trying to pull a character that's not even a part of the pool.
That would be me if I actually did that. So, real quick sidebar here. LadyPelvic is not in the podcast panel, but she is holding it down in the chat. So, we appreciate that, pal. Thank you very much. We got a super chat from Sean Wilson, $20 super chat. First time donator, long time listener. As a black man, I appreciate y'all brothers and Sister Pelvic for doing this and y'all's own streams and channels. The culture needs this. Salute. Yo, Sean, shout out to you. Thank you very much for the super chat.
Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Sean.
Gotta have this we gotta have this all black podcast for the most part. It's all black, right? Yeah, it's all black for the most part. Wait.
Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean.
Oh my god.
First, I gotta deal with
appreciate
Riku
it, bro.
ranting,
I
and now
appreciate
Pelvic
it.
Oh
You're
my.
very. I feel so special to be included. You know, appreciate y'all brothers and sister Pelvic. Thank you. I
Oh.
appreciate you.
Crazy.
Literally, I'm not
This
gonna
girl
lie.
built different.
I was waiting for Riku to like be. I'm sorry. I was tuning into the trails of and like Riku, my guy. You just go off.
How's it going?
I was like, oh, I was like, oh, Riku, like, love ya, bless ya, but my God, wrap it up.
I'm here to tell you right now, pal. We don't care about you.
Nah, we gotta care about that. Like,
No, what
wrap
I
it
really
up.
want to say is that the people that really dive into trails, I assure you, they care about what I have to, how deep it is and whatnot.
But like, you can spend an
Is
hour
it?
talking about one mechanic within the
Damn
battle.
straight,
Like, bro,
as I should.
relax.
No,
It's not that
this is
deep.
a podcast.
It's
This is a
not that
podcast
deep, Riku.
that talks about everything, and we have other people on the panel. You know, Riku.
Hey,
We have other people. We have other
people
games to discuss.
When you guys were diving into the Final Fantasy 16s, what was I doing? I was shutting the fuck up, respectfully.
Yeah, and you notice that they were like pretty quick with their takes and stuff like that, and they weren't.
Well,
like,
I'm
whoa,
sorry if
whoa,
Final
whoa.
Fantasy 16 doesn't
Did-
have that much
did
to talk
everyone
about
get
in
to
regards
speak?
to its
That's that. Oh my God.
I mean, Trails doesn't need that.
Yeah, I
at
went
this
there.
point.
Yeah, I went there. Yeah, I went there.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, the slander.
Oh my.
I'll read this since Blake isn't here. I'll read it. And we got another super chat. Ace Breaker. Slay Queen with that dramatic entrance. Love to see it.
My God, your pelvic.
Yo, Night Fury. Hold on, we got another one. Thank you, Night Fury. Shadow, I must inform you of the everlasting radiance that is
Oh my
Lady Pelvic
God,
has joined the podcast.
Jesus Christ.
Pelvic,
You
you
guys
are
made me
never
feel so
beating.
special.
You are
guys made
never
me feel
beating
so
these scent
special.
allegations
I don't
ever.
appreciate you interrupting the
my
radiance bow.
God.
Okay, I was in the middle of
Anyways.
speaking.
I'm assuming we're done with the Trails talk from Riku.
Yo, I
More
can-
so-
I
more so
can
or
I
less we
acknowledge
are.
these super chats.
Oh
Excuse
my
you.
God.
I'm
we
just
read the
acknowledging
super
them.
chat.
Actually, no,
I just wanna say
wait,
thank you.
pal. We acknowledged the super chat, and Bio had it correctly in what he said. Okay, so you don't like that word. You don't like that 4-letter word, but it is what it is.
No.
right? It is
There's a
what it
difference
is.
between Simpson fans, okay?
Jeez.
There's a difference between Simpson fans, okay? And by the way, I'm not getting this money, Shadow. I don't want to hear shit from everyone else. Maybe has a leg to stand on, but you, Shadow.
I literally just shouted you out
Shadow?
that you weren't in the panel, but you were holding it down in the chat. I appreciate you, pal. Like, what are you saying here? Like,
What am I saying? I'm saying that you just got $10 from me appearing.
oh
For me
my
just showing up, for being in this fucking call for less than 3 minutes, my guy.
my God. And the
See what y'all done did.
and the chat appreciates
guy.
you, pal. My goodness. So wait a minute, pal. Since you're in here,
Yeah.
what is going on with your adventures into the Trail series? What's going on there? Inform the people what's going on there, because you are going to get in the Trail series, as we believe, but we want to know when that's gonna pop off.
I don't know.
You said you were hopping into an SMT game next, right? You said that was like the
Correct.
next game.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Hell, I'm just telling you, there's some, Bao does offer some really good incentive to get into the series. If I do say so myself, I was offered £1,000 and I have accepted.
Wait, what series? Are you talking about Trails or
the Trail series as I play right now. So
Yeah, pal. He got offered by Bao $1,000, £1,200 now, £1,200 now, to beat the Trail series by the end of 2024.
all of them?
All of
Yeah.
them.
How many games are there total? Like
Riku?
localized.
10.
Yeah, Trails into Reverie would be the 10th installment.
so that's 3 Sky Games.
What that is your ass in my paycheck.
No, we were breaking it down in regards to like the average how long to beat Trails game is like about 55 hours, more so or less.
Bum
for each
rush
of
it.
them. So, So it's like
no, he can't do that.
550.
He can't do that. He can't bum rush it. He can't do
Why
it.
not? Why
He
not?
can't do that. He gotta play
Why
it
not?
fairly.
Well, here's the thing, Roy. He already said he's not going to really bum rush it. He
That's
said he
true.
wants to like
That's not how
experience
I
the
play my
games and see
JRPGs.
what they have to.
I do play for the story, and I like to get to know the characters. So on average, I don't do about 50 hours in a game. Probably maybe about close to 100. So at best, I'm probably gonna hit about 100 per game. But don't worry, I'll abandon my kids for a year. It's fine.
Yeah,
they'll live.
Easy.
Okay.
What we should do at the end of each game, like Riku, set up a really easy test of like 3 questions.
Oh, I'm reviewing the games at the end of each game.
And
I'm
make
gonna
sure he
put
knows
up some on my
the
channel.
answers to the
I mean,
questions.
we're gonna have HPMP podcasts throughout the time he's doing this, so I guess we can just have like an update on Q on where he's at and how's it going.
Oh, I'll be telling you all about. I could do that right now. Let me tell you about this. This trails into.
Excuse me. Got another super chat, so hold your horses. Aaron Harrington had to spin the block one time for the best me. Oh my god, I can't even read. I'm so sorry.
Had to spin the
Yeah.
block one time for the one time.
Thank you. For the best me RPG podcast.
Mr.
Me JRPG. So
Mr.
I guess
JRPG.
Oh,
I think I meant he probably meant Mr.
Mr. JRPG podcast. Y'all stay blessed. Oh, such a
Yo,
great
Aaron,
leader. I
what
went to public
up?
school.
Thank you very much for the super chat. We really appreciate you out here donating, showing us the love that this all black JRPG cast of some YouTubers and social media personalities are here, offering their thoughts on this platform. Thank you very much.
It'd be really awkward if Gab showed up right now.
I was gonna say that.
Okay, yeah, we got another super chat. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Whoa, Pacho Games, LadyPelvic. Is it true that now you hate Goat Sona 5? Where'd you get that information? Because I fucking hate Persona 5. It's the worst game.
Whoa,
Serious. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No,
Now,
no,
y'all
no.
can say whatever y'all want about me. Y'all can slander me all y'all want. Yeah, you dare talk about Persona 5 and then we're gonna have a problem.
The worst thing the worst quote unquote thing I said about Persona 5 is that I was just over it. Because the Persona 5 strategy game came out, and there's all the Persona 5, like the mobile games coming out. It's in every fucking, costumes are in every fucking game, it feels like. They just keep milking it, with the, you got Royal, and then you have the Muso kind of game. Muso, not Muso game. So, I am just kind of like, over Persona 5, and I just want Persona 6. That's all. But Persona 5 is a great game. Let me be clear. Persona, you'll never be over it. I'm fucking over it. But I do like Persona
for you, and
5.
I guess everyone else in regards to Persona 5. Which one would you guys would have preferred? What we currently have in regards to milking Persona 5, or a Persona 5-2?
Sorry, say that again.
Persona 6.
No. That's not your options, because we're talking about in regards to like more Persona 5. Which one would you rather have had? Persona 5-2, or all of these Persona 5 spin-offs that we currently have?
You want a sequel to 5, is what you're saying?
So we trade. So essentially, we would trade in not having the spin-offs, and we would get a sequel.
That, though.
Isn't
That's
Striker kind of like?
Striker's a sequel.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is,
but
and I understand that.
It's a sequel,
but it's like
the gameplay's different. So I guess that's. Are you saying like an actual same gameplay, but
sequel. So like what 10-2 did, or Final Fantasy 13.
I would take the sequel. I'd take the sequel because I think because there's so many different Persona spin-offs and they all happen to be on different platforms and different gameplay styles and all that kind of stuff. It does kind of mean that some people are going to miss some of the story, unless of course you literally invest yourself so much into getting a bit of everything.
Because a decent amount of the spin-offs are they canon?
Some
as far as I know,
I think some are.
But I know a nice chunk of them probably aren't.
I would say
because the current canon's kind of messed up with Persona 5.
Yeah, because
with I think Striker's kind of messed that up because Striker's is going off of Persona 5 vanilla lore, right? Not anything that to do with Royal, right? So it kind of it feels like it splits a timeline between the two. But it's like, I understand it being all messy and whatnot, but it's like people ate all of the spin-offs up anyway, but then they complain about the fact that it's milky per se. So it's like, I wonder if people would have appreciated it more if Persona 5 just got a direct full blown sequel instead of all
I'll
of
say
the
that
side.
like hindsight is 2020. Like all these spin-offs, like I did enjoy the story for Strikers, and you know whatever other spin-off there was, but I'd rather take a Persona 5 2 or something like that.
Same.
Or Persona 5 Royal
Okay.
2 rather. I
So,
take that.
so I guess a question on top of that then, moving forward. So when we do get Persona 6, would you prefer it to be a sequel to Persona 6 2, or would you want us to go through the same loops of Persona 6 Strikers, Persona 6 Arena, Persona 6?
have
I
to
mean,
play
it depends.
what
We
we
have to play the
prefer.
first game. We have to play Persona 6 to even see if we want a sequel.
Here's the thing.
Persona
Well,
6 is-
I mean, it doesn't seem
Would-
like Persona as of late has been missing when it comes to their mainline Persona.
I mean, that's true, but I just don't think every game needs a fucking sequel.
That's
just-
true.
I
I mean, but not every game needs a fucking milk
Spin-off,
to
I agree.
oblivion. Yeah,
I agree,
and what
yeah.
I'm saying is that the reality, it's going to happen, right?
Yeah,
These games
exactly.
are going to be
Okay.
popular enough to where they're going to be like, we're going to make more of this specific installment. So since it's going to happen, which is why my initial question exists, which one would you rather? Because since it's going to happen anyway.
I mean, I think like Shadow said, like the preference is probably going to be, you know, like a direct sequel of the same type of gameplay and everything like that, because then everything is neatly packaged that way. But I think the
Axe the
reason why
chat,
we
Shadow, make a poll. Axe the chat.
I think the reason why we get so many different types of games and all that kind of stuff and spin-offs is because you know, Atlas is trying to cash in on pretty much every genre and just trying to take money from everywhere they can get it from, essentially.
So you guys want a Persona 6 dancing? Oh my gosh.
Oh my god! Like we all know it's gonna happen. Like I'm pretty sure like
Yeah,
Persona
yeah,
6
yeah.
isn't gonna flop, but you know it's gonna happen. It's gonna get a whole bunch of installments. But like going forward, would I rather? It's kind of the same situation with Pokemon. Would I rather have the DLC expansion or that third game or that sequel game? I'll take the sequel game, knowing what I know at this point, because I don't need these all. Especially if you're gonna do listen, I see the charm in Persona Q2. I see the charm in Tactica, but like these games are just so like budget titles when you look at them, and
Yeah.
even though they are fun to see that Persona 4 and 3 cats and 5 cats all interact, it's like, man, I'd rather have taken like a full force, like kind of high budget type of titles or something like that, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, so that was clearly an example of a super chat derailing us.
Yeah.
He got his money's worth out of
Come
it.
on, Riku. That was more Riku. We were fine. And then Riku asked the question.
Hey.
So-
First of all, let's
Uh-huh.
not sit here like the chat probably didn't like that type of conversation. Okay,
That
they
is
probably
true.
did. They probably ate it up.
But
Weirdo.
we'll go one final thing about Trails in the Reverie. Chat and the panel. Oh, well, I guess it's just me and Riku. Not even Bao. Bao's done. Bao, you're done with the series, right?
I gave Reverie a shot.
So you didn't finish it, Bao.
No, I don't think he
tried.
was like invested into it. Like he was like, I'm gonna give it a shot.
I generally tried. I was bored.
It's a bad game. I get
It's
it.
not enough mecha, isn't it, Bao?
Damn.
That has nothing to do with it. Plus, there are mechs in this game, actually.
So yeah, so Riku, for the 1,000 hours that you have played, what is your score so far for the game? And chat,
sentences.
what is your score on Trails in the Reverie at this point, or for where you are?
It's definitely somewhere in the high 9s. In regards to like where it would rank in regards to my trails, it's probably around my 4th favorite currently right now.
What favorite? So what's your favorite?
My top 3 right now is Azure, Cold Steel 2, and Cold Steel 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
See,
that's a pretty-
my issue with this game is that it just has more of the issues I had with Cold Steel 4. And then I was like, I'm just not putting up with this. Like, I have better ways to spend my time.
like just like real quick.
Here's the thing, here's the thing, Bao.
What were some of your examples for that Reverie fall into that you think?
Way too repetitive with plot elements, which kind of was the thing with Cold Steel 3, but I could forgive it since it was sort of brand new. But then Cold Steel 4 was just a copy of that. The fact that they haven't changed the battle system, really, besides a couple of new mechanics, which are fine, but I've never been a big fan of the Trails battle systems. Kind of just not very fun for me to generally play.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Like I said, I find that interesting coming from someone who loves the gameplay in Final Fantasy X.
So,
If anything, I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasy VII's battle system. That's kind of what the core system reminds me of. Just don't care for it. And also the whole moving
I feel
around
like this is
thing
closer
does
to
nothing for me.
10s than it is 7s with the whole turn manipulation.
that's
thing going
interesting.
on.
Yeah, that's an interesting take on it.
But what do you consider peak battle system in a JRPG?
Tales of Grace's F. Bang Kaitos.
Okay.
Well, okay. You notice how he knew that right off the bat. Didn't even have to think about it.
He did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Okay, Val. We see you with the right opinion. Okay.
Man.
In regards to turn-based
go.
though. In regards to turn-based.
Val has spoken.
If you want straight up best of the best turn base, I would give that to probably the Bravely Default games.
Oh my God, Val was on fire tonight. Val was on fire tonight. Yo, Val out here. Yo, 2 for 2? Oh my God. Let's go. Yo, Val is on fire.
Oh,
Val's
man.
right.
Also,
Val's
shout out
right.
to Asbel and Gamer of Time, Cosio 4 in the chat. Love to see it.
Wow, the slander.
So wait, do people not consider Final Fantasy X in regards to turn-based gameplay in reference to just Final Fantasy, not top tier?
No, they do.
As far
They
as
say-
I remember.
It's good. It's just
No, they
this
say
other
it's-
stuff better than it now. Since it's 20 years old. Other games have
Well,
progressed and done better than it.
I think a lot of people
No,
say Final
like I
Fantasy
said, we're just
X
talking about
because
Final
it's a
Fantasy.
good. A lot of people say Final Fantasy X is really good for beginners. Like it's a good starting point. You know?
Funny enough, despite
So-
the fact I prefer 10 in general, 10-2 has a better battle system than it.
I haven't
Yeah,
played, so
that's
what do I
debatable.
know?
Yeah, that's
So
debatable.
if someone was just getting into JRPGs, you know, all things considered, and they had access to any platform possible,
Oh God.
you would tell them play Tales of Grace's F, like that is peak.
No, why would you start a beginner on a?
You
No.
just said it's peak.
Well,
You
battle
don't-
system was peak. You say everything else was peak.
Even then, like that
Mind your-
doesn't
mind-
mean
mind your
it's
words.
best for beginners. That's not how that works.
So this is more for veterans, basically.
That's
is what
like
you're saying.
recommending someone Devil May Cry as their first action game that knows nothing about gaming. Like, no, don't do that. You ease them into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was so right. Oh my God, that was so good.
Well,
That was
here's
so
what I'll
good.
say in regards to the
That was
gameplay.
so great.
Here's
I'm
what I'll
so
say in
thrilled.
regards to the gameplay
I'm
of
thrilled.
Trails, in especially in regards to Reverie. I can definitely see like inspiration from Xenogears, from Persona, from Final Fantasy VII, from Final Fantasy X, from Suikoden,
Wait,
from
that-
Grandia,
that's like
and
Cold
from Breath
Steel
of
1 to
Fire.
now, isn't it? Like that's about.
That, I'm just talking about.
Changed.
I'm just talking about Trails gameplay in general. Like you can
Right.
see the DNA of all of those games and all of like the unique aspects that all of those games brought to the table.
So
In
Jack of
some
all
way, shape, or
trades,
form, in
master of none?
here, I wouldn't even say master or none because I feel like all of the unique features that those games brought to the table are refined here.
Okay.
Example: the turn order manipulation system that Final Fantasy X has. It's better in Trails.
I would have to play 10 again to confirm that 100%, but you might have a point there.
I don't see how you can debate with that. The turn manipulation system better here, easily.
So the Trails ratings in the chat were Triplin gave it a 9, Ace gave it an 8, Silverwolf is a high 9, Nightworth thinks it's too early to rank, probably got to play more. KJ92 says 9 out of 10. Eel Cold Steel 4, Jesus Christ. Blaze Masune said 9.5. That's a close to a 10. Lord. So pretty high rating so far. Mazio's giving it a 7. Historian Reverie is a 9 out of 10. Wow, a lot of people are giving it high ratings. Dream Chaser is a 9. Bro, what's your name? Double D K X. I don't know your name, bro, but you gave it a 9. That's a high rating. Ragno 9.5 out of 10. Gamer of Time, it's an 8. Okay, is that the lowest one so far?
From what
I
I
think
played,
I think Mazio gave it the lowest.
From what I
regular 7.
played, I would also give it a 7. That's
7.
because it's not bad, but not great. I just feel like this is just a lot of this is just retreading familiar territory, which I don't like in a Series 10 game, Steve.
Do you think
I mean,
like
it's
if
a lot.
with time away from it, you'd want to come back and finish it though?
No.
I feel like it's weird you say that, Bao, where it's like, okay, you're drilling the fact that it's more of the same, but you're not willing to play Kuro, which is literally a response to that.
I'm not interested in the story and trails anymore.
Wow.
Wow. He just like,
Plus,
like I said,
you already
like
know I've looked at some of the reviews and Kuro's like, meh, don't care.
Yeah, Bao's honestly, I feel like he barely was in it to begin with, to be honest.
wow.
You can hear
He was here for the mechs and he's gone for the mechs, so it's like it is what it is.
You can hear it in Riku's
the mechs aren't that important
You really
to my
can.
enjoyment.
Riku's,
can.
he's giving up on Bao. He's like, this guy's dead to me now. You know.
No, it's not
Still-
dead to me. It's just like
You can't
I
say
understand
that
where he's
because
coming
Cold
from.
Steel 4 had mechs, arguably the most in the series, and I didn't like it.
Oh man.
So that
You
argument
said it
doesn't hold
yourself.
water.
You were here for Reen and Mechs, and now Reen and the Mechs aren't going to be here.
I was
and you're
here
gone
for
with it.
Reen's story,
Bao,
which
you know
they
you heard
fumbled
Riku,
in
right?
Cold Steel 4.
You know
They
you heard
didn't
Riku's
fumble
feelings.
it. They didn't fumble it. It was great.
Was it?
Yeah, like I said, most of the time when you do a poll
I feel like
on
you're
people's
way
favorite,
too biased here, Riku.
I feel like you're on the opposite end of the spectrum too. I feel like you're way too harsh on it.
How? Cold Steel 3 was my game of the year that year.
We're talking
If
about
it's
Cold
good,
Steel 4
I'll
though.
call it
We're
good,
talking about
'cause-
Cold Steel 4 though.
Yeah, and I was super hyped for Cold Steel 4. I went in really excited, and when I came out, wow, this is disappointing.
Like I said,
There's no
there
bias.
is a
in
loud.
that.
Like I said,
just
there
didn't
is a
like
loud.
it.
Like, and you're fine to not like it. Like I said, I feel like there is a loud minority when it comes to Cold Steel 4, just like there was a loud minority when it came to Cold Steel 2 when that first came out.
You say that, but the game was panned when it was only Japan only. I remember that. Cold Steel 4 got really bad reviews on like Amazon and other places.
I remember that.
Amazon. Who the fuck pays attention to Amazon? First of all,
I said other
No.
places too.
no, that's overblown. It's
Oh
overblown.
my god, you hear
It's
this?
overblown. Like I said, if you do any poll on people's favorite Trails game, most of the time Cold Steel 4 is at the top. Freaking what's his name? Super Derek just did a poll literally this morning about what's your favorite Trails game, and it was Cold Steel 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 won, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" Once again,
Do you know about-
loud minority.
Don't you know, Bao? You know, Super Derek did a poll.
Like I said, most of the time, anytime I see a poll anywhere online where it's like favorite Trails game, is most of the answers I usually hear is Azure, Cold Steel 4, and some hipsters still sometimes say Trails in the Sky second chapter. Those are usually mostly the most answered ones, and then you might hear Cold Steel 3 here and there sometimes, but it's most of the time it's those three.
I will say, God forbid
Poll
that
on
I
the
agree.
internet, Riku.
God forbid that I agree with Bao, but I do think that Riku, you're a little bit too much of a fanboy to be.
I'm just
making
giving
this decision.
you what I hear. Okay.
All right. We lost one, folks. We lost Bao in the Trails franchise. Shout out for Bao to making it this far, but we're not gonna lose Q, right? Q, you're
not.
staying in it for a
Lost
long,
Bow,
right?
we gained Q.
Okay, all right. Let's see if we got the better fan out here in these streets.
I think that £1,000 that Bao is giving me is the money he was going to spend on the next couple of games, and that he just gave up that much. So, yeah, pretty much.
Wow. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens at the end of next year. All right, so I think that's all the Reverie talk. Like I said, spoiler cast will happen early August. It'll be Riku, myself, and like I said, I will have a gong on Riku's ass to make sure that he does not go too far, goes in too hard.
No, you won't.
Oh man, listen, man. I don't know about the other the panel members, but they're gonna have a chance to talk. All right, man. So like, have your notes and be ready to read your notes. All right, how about that? All right.
Okay.
Jesus
You do know
Christ.
Riku can write a lot, right? He could probably just write
Yeah, that's true.
Peter, man,
Write
he's
you a
a
whole
writer.
motherfucking novel.
Oh yeah, I
Write
forgot
a
you
whole
are.
novel about
You're
this.
right, pal. He is a writer. Oh my god.
Yeah. You gotta be
Did
careful.
you really
man.
tell me to just write it all out? It'd probably be even longer.
You gotta be careful.
Okay, I think I gotta stop the Reverie gameplay. I'm not sure if this leads to a major spoiler, but let me stop it. So yeah, what else do we have to talk about? I mean, that's really all I got.
You said something about the Microsoft.
Yeah, the
They got
Microsoft.
Activision, didn't they?
Yeah, Microsoft Activision deal. To be honest, that was just something that we could talk about. I don't have much stake in that, but Riku, I'm assuming you know about it. a lot about it or nah?
I actually don't know that much about it, more so or less.
I've read about it this morning.
I feel like, well, today doesn't even matter since Phil Spencer announced that, Call of Duty's staying on PlayStation, which was the main thing everyone was worried about. So who cares now?
I mean, why would, like, to be honest, worrying about that is silly to begin with. But the fact that the acquisition is complete, I think we can move on with our lives and not have to talk about it anymore.
See, you say that, but there was another article saying they have a chance to repeal or something. And they're going
I heard that was cancelled. I heard because of the fact that I think there's a deadline date and that date has been missed. So there's 0% chance. As from what I read, there's no chance of an appeal. I think it's done. I think the deal's gone. So yeah, I think it's a done deal, and it should be good to see what happens. Some people are like butthurt about it and like, oh, this is gonna be the worst thing for gaming, blah blah blah, and all that kind of stuff. I don't think so. I think just I think it's just hopefully I think it's a better thing because of the fact that hopefully it makes Xbox a bit more competitive in the market, so that way it forces Sony to stay on their toes and not just like get complacent and think, well, we've got everyone's money, so we can do whatever the frack we want. So yeah, should be fine.
So wait a minute. Does the acquisition mean they got Activision Blizzard, but wasn't there still deals in place to have like still Activision games released on other platforms?
Yeah, I think that's like I think they signed some 10-year deals with a couple of companies. Like Nintendo got a 10-year deal and a couple others, so they'll get like Call of Duty and a couple other whatever else they wanted. I don't think Microsoft would want to do everything exclusive to Xbox, but I think having it on Game Pass helps their like Game Pass itself, one. And it helps bolster the Xbox catalog if they then maybe have like special features on the version that comes out on the Xbox, or maybe the Xbox version comes out a couple of days before, with regards to pre-orders or something like that. Then that does help boost their sales, or at least their market, essentially. So like, hey, you could get this version of the DLC and blah 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 on the Xbox, only on the Xbox, blah blah blah. Who knows? We'll see.
Do we honestly think that this is gonna make Xbox more competitive at this point, or do we? Because I kind of feel like Xbox just throws their money around. They don't really cultivate studios to make really good games, and they're just like, oh, we can put it on Game Pass and whatnot, or we can buy out our competition. Do you think this is going to do anything for Xbox in the long run, or is it just keeping them competitive the best way they can, and that's just throwing around their money?
I think the way in which Microsoft as a whole, like an overall company, have started to change their way in which they do business. Like not just thinking about like just buy out our competition, but like working with with competition and like sort of like spreading their stuff onto other platforms. I mean, you have Game Pass and pretty much a lot of different things. I genuinely think it helps them. I think that I don't think it's gonna put them on the same level that I guess some people think of PlayStation, in the sense that PlayStation has all these amazing exclusives, but I think it does genuinely help them to say that, hey, this is an Xbox owned IP, and even just to showcase those games at their presentations and say on Xbox or day one on Game Pass. I think that does something.
Okay. I mean, they've already done that though for years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like people watch Xbox showcases for multi-plat games.
They do watch it for multi-plat. But I think Call of Duty every year is probably about say 70 quid or whatever have you is the price Call of Duty goes for now. I think, and especially because Call of Duty is Call of Duty, I think if you say you get Call of Duty day one on Game Pass, I think you get a lot of people picking up an Xbox for it. Let's say, hey, you know what? I play Call of Duty and it's part of my subscription. I don't have to pay monthly. I'll jump into Call of Duty, and I can say that I know some people who are like that, who currently play Call of Duty on the Xbox through Game Pass.
Okay, so, you see PlayStation owners jumping ship to do that is the question.
Do I see PlayStation owners jumping ship to do that?
Buying a $500 console.
I say some maybe, because I've seen like listings of people putting up their PS5s on like Facebook Marketplace, PS5 for sale, or willing to trade for a PC or some kind of crap like that. So I can see it happening for an Xbox. And when you look at what these people are listing, like what games they want to play, they're like, well, I want to play Call of Duty. I want to play FIFA. These are the stuff that they're looking to play. So if that's in there, like as a part of the subscription, I think it's an easy sell for them, especially because of the fact that Xbox already works with EA, so they've got that group of people. So knowing that the types of people that would probably likely play FIFA would probably likely play Call of Duty. If you could get all those games in one package, I think you go for it. Rather than going on PlayStation where you have to purchase them outright and spend a whole lot of money.
Interesting. People will leave their PlayStation ecosystem that they built for the longest time to go on Xbox to have it all in one. Is that what we're saying?
I don't think the people who play those games have an ecosystem in that sense. I think they just play that game. So the people who are playing Call of Duty and FIFA and stuff like that, they're not playing Trails of Arise. They're not playing all these. Their PlayStation catalog only has 3 or 4 games. That's essentially.
So wait a minute, Bob. What did you think about it? Does this make Xbox way more competitive, or is it just going to be the same thing?
If they had actually gotten Call of Duty exclusivity, then sure. But since they don't, no. If they had, they would have pretty much had a monopoly on the big first-person shooters. Period.
Yeah, absolutely.
But since they couldn't, or I won't say couldn't secure, since they let Call of Duty stay on multi-plat, then it's okay, cool. But
isn't it a 10-year deal though?
This isn't going to change anything now.
Isn't Call of Duty being multi-plat between the PS5 and the Xbox a 10-year deal though? Isn't that what Microsoft said they were doing with every company? They were going to sign 10-year deals to give them access to Call of Duty for the next 10 years.
I mean, even if so, we can't predict what's going to happen. That's a whole new console generation then.
Yeah, that is a whole new console generation. You're right.
Okay, so interesting deal. We got a super chat from Ace Breaker, $5 super chat. I'm just glad this whole deal is over. Don't think I need to see random people on Twitter thinking they're qualified to talk about the business side. Holy crap. Yeah, some people on Twitter go off and on. They be bringing up statistics and whatnot. Be like, hey, are you actually in the boardroom? Are you actually on the marketing team? Do you actually know what's going on here? Probably not, but they are just fighting back and forth on Twitter, or maybe at this point in the future it'll be threads. I don't know.
I was about to say that. Aren't we on threads now? I saw Shadow pop up yesterday. Aren't we all on threads?
We.
Nobody's on that threads. That's what's hot in the streets right now. Y'all not getting on threads.
That's what I'm saying. I'm LP Guardian in there. Look me up.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying.
Jeez.
If and when Twitter goes under. Actually, not even that. The main reason I'm on Twitter is because all my friends are on Twitter. If my friends move to something else, I'd move to something else.
So you haven't made an account on Threads just in case?
Shockingly, Q, no.
To secure your username, what if someone becomes the next real Bowser Cowgirl?
Then I kill him. That's what.
No hesitation in his voice at all either. Jesus Christ. All right. So I think that's all the Xbox talk. We got any other topics? Maybe. I think we could wrap this up. I did say a shorter podcast. Actually, we've been going on for 2 hours. So.
I don't think any of us played it. Well, I played sort of the intro, Raincode, the new Danganronpa dev game.
Yeah. How is that?
I've heard of that.
In the beginning, it's just Danganronpa. Not even jokingly, it's a Danganronpa game. But it's not bad. I heard it gets really good, but I didn't put too much hours into it yet.
Is there a demo for that game or nah?
Nah. I think I just wasn't in the mood for a visual novel at the moment. I just wanted to play something, so I put it down for a while.
Fair enough.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, I've been seeing some memes about the main girl in the game being a little bit crazy or something like that.
So far all I know is that she's a ghost, and yeah, she's kind of crazy. I haven't seen her transform into the human mode yet, though.
Okay. I do want to give that a shot. That's why I was asking for the demo, but we'll see if it actually ever goes on sale. But wait a minute, isn't it only on Switch?
Shockingly, yeah, Switch exclusive for some reason.
Yeah, why?
Wait, do you like Danganronpa?
Do I like Danganronpa?
Not you, Shadow.
He's in it for the waifu. Come on.
Nah, I haven't really messed around with Danganronpa at all. I've only watched the anime, and I think I played the first game, and that was it.
Sorry.
Hell, there's only one reason he's in this. He's seen the waifu in the trailers. He's like, this looks good.
Not really. Not really.
Come on, Shadow. Be proud of yourself. It's all good.
I don't really like the way she looks all that much, to be honest. I just heard that she's a little bit crazy. That's all I really heard.
Oh, so you just like crazy waifus? Okay.
That's Bob. That's not me. Shattered Glass with the $5 super chat. I worry about I guess Xenoblade not taking care of. Is it Xenoblade? I guess it's Xenoblade. Not taking care of those IPs. But do you think Trails? Xbox. Okay, shout out. Thank you, Q. I worry about Xbox not taking care of those IPs, but do you think Trails needs gameplay and graphics update? Looks like it could still run on PS3.
As Riku has said, the fans
Agreed.
don't care, so should Falcom really care?
I mean, they update the graphics kind of in Koro, but that was like 20 years ago, so it's like,
Yeah,
is it
it's
going to matter
already
now?
dated.
Is it going to really matter now? I don't know about that, but yeah.
Persona.
What, Persona?
No, read the next one. I'm answering
okay.
the next question.
Oh, my
Persona
fault.
3 remake. Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, you want to read this? I can't say this guy's name. Shurkuzoid? Zoids?
Scuzoid.
No, it's Squizoid. Yeah.
Squizoid.
Scuzoid Melee.
Okay, Melee.
Okay.
Shout out to you, sir. $10 super chat. Missed the brief Persona 5 chat. I played Persona 1 and 5. If I'm going to buy one game, should I get Persona 3 Remake for Golden, 5 Royal, or just wait for Re-Fantazo?
That's tough. Since pretty much.
If
It isn't out, but 3 remake. Actually, you know what?
I'd say go with
You know what?
Golden.
Golden. I take it back.
Yeah,
Golden.
I'd say go with
Honestly,
Golden.
I say look up. If you don't know anything about them, look them all up and just see which one piques your interest the most.
No,
Those are all-
Golden. Don't listen
No,
to
just
let's get
nah,
Golden.
it's Golden.
Jesus,
It's Golden.
people.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Don't make your own mind up. Listen to us.
That's the whole reason he spent that money in that super chat. He didn't want to make his own mind up. He wanted us to tell him.
That's
Oh
right.
man.
Golden.
For Golden,
Go for
it's
it.
Golden. Yeah.
I'm gonna say 5 Royal, followed by Golden, followed by 4 Golden.
Shame.
Like interchangeable, almost like.
I'm telling you, Golden is so good.
It is very
So-
good.
Golden is so good.
Yeah,
Golden
Right.
is so good.
that is
I'll be playing Golden on my
100%
Steam Deck.
Persona 5 is good, but
That's-
it's everywhere, my guy. It's not going anywhere. Okay? you go right on Persona 5.
Sure,
Play
literally.
Golden.
Later.
You
Golden
are
is
literally
brilliant.
just Persona 5 out, aren't you, Belle? Like, you don't want to see the main
I'm
characters'
just-
faces anymore. You don't want to see the logo no more. You don't want to see nothing
I'm
on
just-
Persona 5 anymore.
Yeah, I'm just drained on it. Like, it's a great game. Like, make no mistake, Persona 5 is a fantastic game. Super clean. Everything is great about it. Everything's great about it. I'm ready to move on
Hold
and
up.
see the
I
next
just
entry.
realized something.
Hold up.
What?
It's
Yeah.
the reason you're mean to me because I have a Persona 5 profile picture. If I
Lord,
crack the code,
Oh my god, maybe that's subconsciously it.
Jesus.
Maybe.
Nah.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
maybe if you were you,
Maybe.
Narukami dressed up as him, maybe you would be treated a bit different.
Maybe. I didn't even think of that, but yeah, I guess
now,
maybe. Yeah.
now, hold on, pal. You are Persona 5'd out, but have you played any other spin-offs?
No.
And that
No.
because she's
So
out.
how
She
you-
doesn't want
I'm
that.
out.
How are you Persona 5 out and you haven't played any of the spin-offs?
Because
I'm
she's
tired of
out.
seeing it. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm so tired. Okay, because originally, actually, Strikers looked kind of cool. I was like, okay. But even before Strikers, I'm pretty sure Persona 5 was... Because there was Dancing. Dancing came out before Strikers, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dancing. And then it was like collabs with all the... mobile games. It was like, Sonic Forces. It's in my Nier game.
Oh my god.
But it's fucking everywhere. And I was like, okay. Like, I get... And then... Well, actually... was Persona 5 in Q1? Was that? Or no, was
No,
Q1
Q2.
only
No, that's
Q2?
Q2. That's Q2.
Okay, it's
Q2.
Q2. It's Q2. And Q2 came out after Strikers. Yeah?
Before.
Right. Wait, before?
Oh, before.
Mary was the last 3DS game.
I thought. Oh wait, yeah, before Strikers, right? Yeah, he's right.
Okay, my point. So there was another game. I was like, oh my god, here we go. I'm just tired of it.
It's also the
Tired of
Persona
it.
5 mobile Chinese spinoff that I think everyone forgot about.
So he's
Oh,
trying to see it
I mentioned
everywhere.
it. I didn't forget about it. I say as I actually am kind of open to it.
But-
Mobile games be popping off. I can't tell a lie. Mobile games
Oh wow.
be popping off.
See, she could say she likes mobile games, but if I say I like mobile games, we're gonna have an issue.
Just mobile is crazy people.
So real
stuff.
quick, I got a dip. See you guys. Thank you for coming to the HPMP Bow and Friends podcast. Shout out to our eternal guest, Shadow Elite. I'll see you guys later.
Oh my god.
Bao has to go and work his extra job to pay for my £1,000. So I'll see you later, Bao. I appreciate you.
Have a good night.
We about to wrap up anyway, but yeah, for that super chat, I'm gonna go with 5 Royal. That's probably the most funnest one, and I feel like it's a strong possibility if you play that, you'll love it so much you'll definitely go to the other games. Absolutely, 100%. But you played 1? How did you play Persona 1? That game didn't exist?
I don't even know.
More like they're probably playing on an emulator or something.
Yeah, definitely playing on an emulator, but who goes to play that?
Do you not like Persona 4? Isn't your fucking icon Persona 4? No?
Yeah, the
yes.
HUD. The HUD is
Yeah,
definitely based off of Persona 4.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. But
Thank you. Wow, you traitor. You about me to switch. Yo, traitor, just fucking change your icon right now. Change your icon right now.
Honestly, to get somebody into the games, go for the latest one in 5 Royal. Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's going to be harder to go back.
No. With greatness that is Persona 4 Golden, it won't be an issue, right? It should not be an issue.
Okay, listen, Persona 4 is great, but let's not pretend that Persona 5's gameplay isn't better. Like, let's not pretend, okay? Let's not pretend.
That's true.
Persona 4 is great. I'll die on the hill. Persona 4 is excellent. Just like Persona 5 is great. But I just fear that he's going to play Persona 5, and you're going to be like, wow, this is amazing. The dungeons and the enemies and, like, what you could do and all this. Cool, right? And then he's going to play Persona 4 and be like, what the fuck is all of this generated shit, you know? And I'll be like, well, yeah.
Okay, that's one side of the argument I didn't consider.
And there are several extra mechanics that Persona 5 has, like dungeon travel, like crawling or whatever. That Persona 4 is literally just find the stairs or find literally same looking rooms with chests or enemies. Yeah, that's it. And hope that you don't get fucking Satan chasing after your ass or whatever the fuck it's called.
I forgot
the thing in chains, you know what I mean?
The Reaper.
Yeah, the Reaper. Okay, not Satan. Sorry.
We got a $50 super chat from Pachinko Games. Has any of you played Atelier Mary Remake? Opinions?
Isn't that a
I completely
question?
forgot that game was coming out, to be honest. I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't really played it. I haven't really played it. I didn't play it at all. It wasn't even really on my radar, to be honest, because I just don't care for the this remake in particular, especially since it went like 3D graphics as a quote unquote style choice, but I think it's more of a budget choice, but whatever, it's a style choice or whatever. But this one just didn't interest me all that much, so sorry, I didn't really give this one the time of day. Yeah, I think that's all the topics that we have for tonight.
Nah, I'm prolonging it because I was here late. I have a question or
Yeah,
your
yeah.
opinions on. Did you guys play Fire Emblem Engage? And what are your opinions on it?
Yeah, we had like 5 podcasts about this about Fire Emblem Engage. Like,
About to have 6, baby.
oh my god.
Okay, no, real talk. What? Okay, because I just hear the general consensus is the story's ass and the gameplay's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't played it. My missus is playing it, and she seems to be liking the story and the gameplay. But she's not like she's not a JRPG veteran. She's light on JRPGs. So, but yeah, she seems to be enjoying it. She likes the characters.
But yeah, the general consensus with Engage, story and characters are kind of weak. Gameplay is where it's at.
I feel like Engage came and went.
Oh,
You know?
absolutely, 100%.
It did,
And that's because its story and characters wasn't that great. Because Three Houses was around for a while after it came out. Well, like, I
definitely felt like I heard about Three Houses for a while.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Like word of mouth was around.
People vaguely remember Fire Emblem Engage even coming out this year.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wait, it came out this year?
Yeah, it did.
See?
Yo, I thought it was last year. That's crazy. Oh
My
God.
point exactly.
Oh, you're right. It did come out. Okay, you know what? Now that you said no, but you're right. Dude, that's crazy.
I even think that it was so out of sight, out of mind, and maybe the sales weren't that great that the DLC came out a little bit earlier than expected, I guess. And the DLC wasn't really all that received well because it was. I don't think it was a question of difficulty with the DLC, or maybe it was, but it definitely was tedious as hell for the DLC, so a lot of people weren't crazy about it. But yeah, Engage definitely came and went. Wasn't really all that great, unfortunately. Three Houses is like way better in a lot of people's minds, except for the gameplay. So wait, are you gonna play Engage, pal?
I mean, I have it, and I'm looking at it, and it's looking at me. You know.
Oh. All right.
So I don't know. I thought about it. I'm not exactly like chomping at the bit for it because I'm not a strategy game person.
Actually, no. Don't add no other game to your docket. You got to get your Trails games, Missy. All right.
Listen. Whoa. The agreement was I would play it at my leisure. That's it. I said I'd play it.
Let me look at this contract that I have because that's not exactly what I got. This contract reads, and I state, LadyPelvic will play Trails games. Damn it, at her ledger. Okay, fine.
Lord?
You got me. You had me.
Okay.
But I will keep an open mind. I'm not thrilled about playing the one piece of JRPGs. Like, I'm just not thrilled about it. I'm not excited. It just seems needlessly long, and I'm like, what? Why?
Trust me,
know?
when you start, you won't be able to stop.
I feel like, honestly, if I came into the Trails of series near the beginning, where it doesn't feel as daunting, then maybe I'd be like more chill about it. But because I have like 10 games to go through, should I choose, that's just like, ugh.
I think the thing is, the average trail, like I said earlier, the average Trails game is like 40 to 55 hours, right? Your average JRPG is actually far more than 55 hours. I think I was looking up the stuff like
wait,
like Persona 5.
Are they really that short? I swear to God, they were like 100 hours.
If you're focused on the story,
no,
that's all the side content. Yeah,
of course I would have played the side content. Of course I would have talked to motherfuckers. What the fuck? I want to play the game. You know, like, what do you mean? Of course.
Well, here's the thing. If you do that, then you're going to be so engrossed that you're not even going to care. And everybody says that when they go through it. They're like, man, I got all these games to go through. And then they blink, they're caught up. So when's the next one again? I hear that literally every time. Outside of Bao, because Bao's a weirdo.
That's because you hang out with Trails of people. So, of course, they're like, hubba, hubba, Trails of. Like, you know? So, like...
I don't know.
I just think you...
Straight up called Bao a weirdo, man.
I feel like there's not like many games that like I don't know many long running games that are currently going on, but if I like what I see, I think I'll start it. Yeah, I don't know how many long running games there are. I can't really name the example right now, but I think I'll start it, especially if it's still relevant today. Now, don't give me like a 20-year-old series. Like if it's still relevant today, maybe
especially something that's like you still hear relatively positive things about it.
There you go. That's my long running series.
Yeah.
I played all the Zelda games.
Zelda. I wouldn't start Zelda. I don't really care for Zelda, so I really wouldn't start it myself.
I mean, you're caught up with like you've been continuously going through. I mean, I know they don't come out as often anymore, but another long running JRPG series that you're caught up on is Kingdom Hearts, right?
Yeah.
Dude, there's 3 games. Well, okay, 3 main games.
Actually,
hold on. I forgot. I'll have you know, I have not played all the Kingdom Hearts. I've watched the cutscenes.
You played
for
majority
the
of them, though, right?
Yes, I have.
Man. We got a super chat from Night Fury, $2 super chat. As Riku would say, nice and long. I mean, go ahead, Riku. You go ahead and say it.
That was pretty good. Chad. That was pretty good.
I would say that was a very impressive impression of me.
But go ahead, Riku. Do it. You know, do it for the fans.
Nice and long. For you guys.
Man.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
What?
That wasn't how you said it before. You sounded nothing like Shadow. You did sound like Shadow, who sounded like you.
Oh man,
maybe I felt like I needed to change it.
The point is, I have not played all the Kingdom Hearts games. I've watched the Fraction game, and then the card game, I straight up stopped playing. I was like,
but you played like Dream Drop. You played Birth by Sleep. You played all of the relevant
Birth by Sleep is great. Birth by Sleep is great.
And I'm not taking that away from you.
The Fraction game is also super relevant. I didn't play that. I watched all the cutscenes.
What, 2.8?
Yes, I played that, which is like practically DLC. It's like 10 hours. Come on now.
Yeah.
I understand that. I'm just saying. That is a long-running JRPG franchise. Which, I mean, from a story standpoint...
still doesn't have as much as Trails. Just throwing that out there.
I mean, they're not as consistent.
Yeah, no, they are not. Kingdom Hearts consistent? What?
Yeah, shout out to Tetsuya Nomura.
That's more so their fault.
All right.
Yeah.
So, anything else, guys? We want to talk about any other games that there is to talk about? Any games that Pell feels like getting into that's not Trails, apparently?
SMT? What are your thoughts on SMT?
Like I said, she said
Tell me your
she's
love for
getting.
SMT.
So wait. You said you're getting into SMT5, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
in regards to like what you've heard about SMT5, you're willing to hop in there and make your own opinions. Okay. Okay.
Listen, it's similar to SMT3, and I ultimately like SMT3.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You fell
I
in
mean,
love with
it's
SMT3.
a tough love. Like it was a gradual love. While I was playing it, I don't think I appreciated it as much until like after the fact. Like once it was over, I was like, I think I enjoyed that. Despite me bitching about it the whole way.
See? Exactly. I have a love-hate relationship with Nocturne.
Yeah, Nocturne is a special game. So I'm curious.
So what are your
ahead.
predictions on how you feel you're going to come out of SMT5?
I think if I go into it thinking that the world is going to be the most interesting character, then I think I will be fine. Like if I temper my expectations, because I went into SMT3 thinking, you know, like a typical JRPG, more character focused, some like not lore, but character stories to latch onto. And there was simply not that in SMT3 at all. But what was interesting about Nocturne is the world itself. And then, of course, presenting the ideologies that are obviously all extreme. But, yeah. And just kind of thinking on it and the commentary on each ideology. So, I think if I look at it from, like, that perspective, rather than going in expecting, you know, diverse and interesting and deep characters, yeah. You ever, like, do that before, where you're like, oh, I'm expecting this, but you get something else, and you're like, okay. So it feels like it's bad, but it's not bad, it's just not doing what...
Different. It's just different. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's where I'm at with SMT 3 or 5. Going into that, I'm open mind. So, and I hear the combat's really good, and I'm so excited to listen to the music. I haven't listened to anything yet.
Oh yeah, the music is banging.
I haven't heard any songs from it, so I'm very excited to just like be in the moment. I'm personally very big on like listening to game OSTs in game first before Oh yeah, the only time I did it where I slipped up, I'm not gonna lie, was Sonic Mania, because I heard like a snippet of like Chemical Plant, Mania, and I was like, oh man. So I ended up listening to that whole OST before I played the game, and I don't care, it was worth it, because it just is remakes of like my childhood, and they were great too. So that was the only game where to recent memory, where I was like, yo, I gotta hear this OST. So. Yeah.
I guess another thing I could ask you about is you said you basically, I can't remember if you finished Final Fantasy 16 the last time we talked to you. No? I think you did.
I don't think I did last time. Maybe, I don't know.
And you said you said you're currently working on your script for your review, correct?
Oh, then yes, I did finish it. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry?
Yep. Sorry. Yo, listen. I'm getting old. I don't remember shit. Okay.
So just, I know you're going to save a decent amount of it for your review, watching, support and whatnot. But in regards to like, where are you feeling this ranks for in regards to the Final Fantasy you've played?
I honest to God don't know. I'm still thinking on it.
So you're like, wow, you're not really sure about that either.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not. I don't think it broke top 3. Because the fact is, I have to be okay. Is it better than 9 to me? No, it's just not better than 9. Do I like it more than 4? No, I don't like it better than 4. And
do you like it better than 6?
Did she play 6?
Yeah, I played 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played 6.
Okay. Didn't play the good 7, but okay.
I feel like your opinion on 6 is like wishy-washy. Like, yeah, I respect it as a game, but
okay. No, I feel like over time, I was like rewatching scenes of 6, and I was like, damn, I think 6. Especially for its time. I think 6 is a great game. I think especially for its time, it's outstanding. Because when I dissect it, the things that it hit on that no other JRPG, even now, does it talk about, or explore, I thought was really, I don't know, just interesting, captivating. Yeah. So I
So wait a minute, pal. Just like Bow, you guys can't rank it. Isn't that an issue that you can't rank it? Like, you played through it, you liked it, but you can't rank it? I feel like I haven't even finished it myself. I'm probably like 70% through the way. But it's definitely going to land somewhere in the top 10. Not top 5, that's for sure, but it's gonna land in the top 10.
I mean, I guess that's okay. There's only 16 mainline Final Fantasies,
that's the same thing.
10 isn't pretty great. 10 isn't.
Okay, yeah. See, I can at least say that, without a doubt. But you guys are just is it because it's not that traditional Final Fantasy? Is that what's making it hard for you guys? Hey, but you said it. You said that Final Fantasy doesn't have to be Final Fantasy in a way. That Final Fantasy always changes up.
Additionally, here's another thing you got. Here's another thing you got to take into consideration.
Let Pell answer.
Hold on. No, I do believe it feels like a Final Fantasy in some parts. I feel like this is the least Final Fantasy feeling game. Maybe up there with 12. I can't decide because I 12. I just 12. I felt like I was eating air. Honestly, I just because I just felt like nothing. I just felt like after I beat it, if you were to ask me questions on 12 right now, who's the bad guy? What happened during 12? I feel like I honest to God couldn't tell you because it just in one ear and out the other. I felt 12 was ungodly boring to me. Or at least 16, I could say, I could tell you what happened. I mean, God, obviously I played it sooner, but there are aspects of 16 I could boast about, say I really enjoyed, yada yada yada. But I do think it does have Final Fantasy elements because I mean, there's war, is there not? It's Final Fantasy, right? There's crystals, right? We're doing shit with crystals, yeah. There, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's an outside threat, let's say. You know what I mean? I don't think it's as mystical, whimsical as I like, such as 4, 9, even 10. I think nailed that fantasy feeling better. Where this is just a medieval, and I also think the Western, how Western it feels, how Western the characters look. The NPCs, for example, I think every single NPC, I swear to fuck, looks like a discarded Skyrim character, character creator. I shit you not. But any, how Final Fantasy has a stylized realism, particularly Final Fantasy VII Remake. Cloud, they have they have that kind of anime-esque eyes, but realism. Does that make sense? Clive has those same eyes, But when you look at literally just any Gav or any NPCs, they have that Western. They just have a Western look, and I think that also feels very off-putting for me. Seeing this as a Final Fantasy.
So for all those reasons you just listed, is that the reason that you can't rank it? And why do you have to think
I think
about
they
it
just need
more
some
now?
time to let it digest. Because it's here's the thing.
I have never seen this with a Final Fantasy game. People said 15 was trash.
If you ask anyone about their opinion of 15 when they finish 15, they will easily let you know.
Exactly.
Because it doesn't seem like 15 had a lot of positive reception for the most part, right? So it feels like they're comfortable in letting you know that they don't really fuck with this one that much, right? But when it comes to 16, it is more so positively received. So I think they're conflicted in regards to where exactly does this rank in my stuff. That's what 12. It seems like it sounds like.
Because I do like the game. Rest assured, I like the game. I think it's a great game and a fine Final Fantasy. Bao said it was above average. I would agree with that. I think it's an above average Final Fantasy, but I'm not God, Final Fantasy's back, baby. This is this is the identity. Not quite.
Definitely so it's definitely not in the top 5. It can't be in the top 5.
So the word conflicted is an accurate word.
Yeah, conflicted is an accurate word. I would agree.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not top 3. Let me put it that way.
It's not top 3. But it can be top 5. It has a possibility of being top 5. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, you know what? Let's okay.
Lord?
Just put me on the
I just want to know. I just want to. Is it top arbitrary? That's all.
Let's go through all the Final Fantasies I've played. So 4, 5, no, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Still 12. Crazy you haven't played 7 at this point.
Yeah, I know. I kind of love it. And then 12, 13, 14, 16. Okay, great. Okay, great. So 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 16. So my top 3, obviously 9 is number 1, 2 is 4, 3 is 10. All right, so
10
really
over 6, interesting.
Yeah.
I'll put 10. I'll put 10 in my top 5.
I would probably put 6 as number 4. Okay. So really, so to me, it really comes down to, is Final Fantasy 16 better than 8 and 12? Both Final Fantasies I don't like. So I like 16. So yeah, I guess 16 actually is technically in my top 5. By default.
Okay.
Yes.
See? But the very fact that you have to think about that and you couldn't just come out with it so fast, that tells you something about this game and how much of a Final Fantasy it actually is. That's my opinion. That's my opinion for people that can't rank it. Yeah.
I think if you break it down, people should be able to. But I think just asking them to do it off the top of their head, that's when it's like, I don't know.
Well, I wrote it all down. I have a little sticky note in front of me. Now my sticky note has my Final Fantasies listed. So there you go. So yes, it would rank number 5 by default.
Okay.
Because of the Final Fantasies I've played. If I played 7, watch it be kicked out. Or actually stay.
They're good.
Watch it.
Because people can't people feel like 7 is overrated at this point. You know, I don't know why, but it is what it is.
That's the reason I haven't played 7. Because I just feel like everybody's like, why do I have to talk about 7? Everyone already knows about 7. Already has an opinion about 7. What the fuck does my opinion in 7 matter?
I feel like some people.
I mean, because you're late. Do you not see how these people acted when you joined the chat? Just, LadyPelvic. They obviously they don't give a fuck if it's Final Fantasy 7. They want to hear your opinion on it. So rest assured, everyone, their grandma's grandma has given their opinion on Final Fantasy 7, but LadyPelvic hasn't given her opinion on Final Fantasy 7.
All right, but why can't
and I assure you, people still probably care about that to some degree.
You know, I'm sure they do, but also SMT5 needs more love. You know?
Wow.
Does it though?
Yeah. Listen, the SMT crew came through for me on SMT4. Okay, I'll never forget that. I think that's like my fastest viewed video. In regard, the numbers just fucking skyrocketed out of fucking nowhere.
Oh yeah, the freaking SMT5 fan base came out. They were like, "We gotta make sure she reviewed this game right, or she gonna get it." And I guess she get it.
Yeah, listen.
Right.
No, I love 4, and I'll die on this hill. Shadow 4 is better than Apocalypse. I'm sorry. In terms of story, I'll give Apocalypse gameplay. I'll give Apocalypse gameplay.
That's not much of a hill I'm willing to defend too much. No, I still personally like Apocalypse better, but hey. That's not a hill I'm willing to die on.
All right.
All right. I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think we milked it enough. We got some extra little content out for you guys.
Yeah. If Persona 5 could do it, then we can do it too.
Jeez.
All right, that was nice.
Thank you.
All right, let's go with these outros. Q, you've been a little bit quiet. Go ahead, man.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for tuning out for this. Why are you surprised?
No, it's you surprised. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning up for the podcast, guys. This has been fun as per usual. I know I've been a bit quiet, but I just didn't have much to add to the conversation with regards to the last couple of topics, and so I felt I might as well let the others speak. That being said, the most important thing tonight is that I will be taking £1,000 from Bao, and I will be putting up some gameplay and streams of this game on my YouTube channel. Feel free to follow me on YouTube, LP Guardian. I will comment in the chat in a sec, so you'll follow me and be ready for this goodness.
Make sure when you start streaming it, call it like the $1,000 journey or something like that.
Oh, it's definitely going to be named that. It's like I'm taking Bao's money. That's basically
like $1,000 journey begins now. The title. Yeah, there you go.
All right. You guys turn up, support me on this journey as I take Bao's money. Together we shall take this together. So that being said, this is your husband of dreams. We're here for them waifus, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Riku?
All for one and one for all. Thank you everyone for coming for this good episode of the HPMP podcast. You all have a nice weekend.
See, short and sweet. Was that too hard?
Yeah, good point, pal. Very good point. But also to your point, pal, like you know, oh great pirate empress pelvic. that's not SIMP behavior. Okay, fine.
There was no pirate. It was just great empress. You know, you're adding too much. You're doing too much, Shadow. You're doing too much.
All right. Take it as it is. Go ahead with your outro.
No, thank you for having me. I will be putting out. My next video is going to be Tears of the Kingdom, so look out for that. My next game I'm going to play is Eden Chronicles, and this is exclusive. Not even my own Discord knows this, but I think the next top 5 video I'm going to do is top 5 best protagonists, so that should be a spicy one. But thank you for your support, and I hope you look forward to it.
Alrighty. And you guys know me, Shadow Elite, streaming on twitch.tv/Shadow Elite HDX. Be there for the streams for futures. Wait, I got this. Futures redeemed, right?
Yeah, he got it.
Okay. I got it.
LadyPelvic, as you may not have been here, but he said he finally finished Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and it's what did you say? It was It's an all right game.
No, so I
He
didn't say that.
finished it.
I didn't say that.
Finished it.
You finished it.
He finished it. Hold on, Q. Did you finish Altaria or no? Did you let Shadow
didn't.
win? Oh, wow! I believe in
Crazy.
you,
Nice.
Yo,
You-
I
that's true. You
have
did
lost
win.
all faith. Nah, I don't even believe in your $1,000 journey anymore. I was actually supporting
Wow.
you. Nah, that is crazy. Like Shadow took his sweet ass fucking time, my guy.
100%.
Shadow took his sweet ass fucking time.
Oh,
And
I
you-
forgot about that. I completely forgot about
Nah,
that.
Wow.
sorry. I can't support you and your
I
$1,000
highly
journey
wait.
anymore.
What was on the line of this bet anyway? Do
We didn't
we
put anything on
remember?
the line. It was
Money.
Just,
Okay. I think that
No,
didn't
money
put money.
was.
was
Yeah,
it.
it was. Yeah, there was.
someone who
Someone's
listens
gonna
to
have to
the
clip
podcast, go
it.
back.
Someone's gonna have to clip it and let us know what.
Let
what
us know.
the,
So,
what
so
the-
I'll know if I owe Shadow anything. Like,
He's gonna be like, Shadow, I will pay you when Bao pays me.
That is
I'll have a lot of money to give to
crazy.
you. That is rather fucking crazy.
that is.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised. Like, I completely forgot about it, to be honest. Absolutely forgot.
So I'm
about
surprised you remembered. Like, jeez.
It. Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
even
dude.
remember. I just played it.
No, I fucking believed in you, Q.
And you know
Nah.
what's the funny thing?
Nope.
When Shadow went live with the stream, I was like sitting on the sofa and I saw Shadow was live on Twitch and I was in the chat. You know, I completely forgot about it. I was there cheering him on, like, "Hey man, go on, there you go." Do your thing.
Yo, it.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I highly doubt he's gonna give up on this one though. This is $1,000, and if you fuck this up, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Just high
Yeah,
key.
he's right. He's 100% right.
Nah, I'm not rooting for you. I'm not rooting for you. I hope you like bust your thumb or something so you can't play a game for a few months.
Damn, like Pebble.
You're
was
gonna play that shit with
100%
your
on
dick if you
side.
need to, bro. You better get that money.
Lord.
Oh my
Hey.
god. And on that lovely note, guys, we are out of here. Peace.
Peace out, people.
Peace.